And so, just
and we're live.
We're live.
That's actually where the saying comes from, because we would always be having chats and then I would have to tell people so that they didn't like dox themselves. Like, hey, by the way, we're live.
It started as a friendly reminder. Now it's the official intro.
That's right. We have here the founder of Doge, PulseDogeCoin.
Yes, PulseDogeCoin. That's right.
Welcome.
That's right. Hello.
And,
hello, hello, the community, all the haters and the lovers.
Yeah, only lovers here, and we've got a great show tonight. I'm gonna have somebody that does TA come on later to try to interpret this tweet that Richard put out. I don't know if you can do TA on a tweet or not, but we're gonna find out if there's a new local top here and if Richard is secretly using watch code language, if he's calling a new top. And we've also, of course, we're going to start off with PulseDogeCoin and try to get the right information out. But first, a word from Crypto Coffee, who says, well, I'll let him say it.
Scream from the mountaintops, like, everybody, Pulse Doge is the future. Unless you guys want to clip that out and
put that on their website. Yeah. Crypto Coffee says Pulse Dogecoin is the future.
I'm just waiting for that now.
I love that.
Scream from the mountaintops.
So I think he was joking, but I definitely clipped it. So hopefully that's helpful.
Yeah, I think he's joking because I mean, I don't know what his opinion is on it, but with leading up to the release, he was like, on Twitter, sounded like he's pretty excited. And then when I announced it, he was like, I think the comment was just like disappointed. I was like, oh,
at the beginning of the
well, sir, disappointed. Okay, no expectations.
I mean, I cut out the part where he said that he's not going to scream from the mountaintops. That Pulse Dogecoin is the future.
Yeah. I understood that, but
so a big part of comedy is explaining it to death, right? Like, so can you explain Pulse Dogecoin and why it's funny?
Why it's funny? It's funny because your parents buy it and they don't know what it is, and that's and that's it. They buy a dog coin, a coin with a dog on it, because they hear the richest man in the world talk about it, and it's interesting and it's fun, and that's what people like to buy. Everyone listening to this, people like to buy things that are fun and that are inviting. And I know you're like, oh, but your attitude on Twitter, it's not about me. It's about the image. It's a dog. That's why people buy it. Okay, no one cares about the guy that founded Dogecoin. Okay, they care about the dog logo and the all the memes that they can create from it. That's what they care about, and that's what they buy, and that's what your parents buy, and your grandparents buy, and your 12-year-old nephew. They care about. They like those. They're fun to talk about. All these utility coins are not that fun, and most people don't care about them, and that's that's the reality of it. But we can get into further questions. Really I just kind of want to stun the audience a little bit.
I love that answer, and I heard you on the Discourse Syndicate News channel, and I think you did an awesome job there. I think that the community is dumb AF about this, and I'm going to explain why. I think that Pulse Dogecoin is the future. Okay. Because it's a free airdrop to Hexicans, first of all. And it's not any Hexicans, it's people who have time locked their crypto. Can you talk for a second about, or actually as long as you want, for why you chose to only include people who have real Hex stakes and not tradable Hex stakes?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's easy. Like, people that lock up their money are putting out a statement, right? People that lock up their hex, they're making a public. They're basically like signing a public contract saying this amount of value is going to be locked for this, this period of time, and they're also signing to the penalties, right? It's like a public agreement, right? And everyone can verify it. So it's like that. Those people that do that are the real like crypto holders, right? Not people that like buy and trade, and it's like those are the real core crypto holders. So it's like, hey, if you're going to launch a crypto and you want people to hold it so it has less selling pressure over time, and these people are they are proven to hold the crypto. They prove it, right? That it's obvious. You reward them. That's pretty much as simple as it gets. Like, you reward the hex stakers. People message me on Twitter. They're like, "Hey man, I have I have liquid hex. Man, why wasn't I eligible?" It's just like, yeah, because you're benefiting off of having liquid hex already, right? This is only benefiting the people that have locked up their hex. Well, on April 20th on 420, but I think most of the people that are eligible and have already claimed have longer stakes than just the one snapshot day that permitted eligibility for the airdrop.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for rewarding people who are holding up the price, not people who are keeping their right to dump.
Yeah, those are the best people in crypto. Are those are Hexicans? Like, provably, they're the best people in crypto. Even though a lot of them have called me a scammer, which is mind-boggling, and we can get into that. But
oh yeah,
you are audience. You guys are the best people in crypto. We Hexicans are the best crypto holders. So let's act like it and not hate each other.
Yeah,
I hate each other for no. I will say, let's not hate each other for unreasonable things, right? So if you can hate someone for a very reasonable thing, or hate a project, if it's reasonable to hate said project, so you can dunk on a project. I dunk on projects all the time because most of them are crap, and they're poorly designed. And they're made with point and click ERC20 generators, and 90% distribution to one address or a few addresses. They are designed to be unfair from the start. It's just like, so we can dunk on those all day, but don't dunk on the ones that are given to you for free and that are built with care. Like,
absolutely.
Some things are justified. Some some hate toward projects are justified, but I just don't. The ones that come at PulseDogeCoin, it's like, guys, you hate on all the other projects. Those ones are valid. You have valid criticism toward those ones. It's not a whole lot of valid criticism toward PulseDogeCoin, but hey, it's just one person's opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I've never experienced so much hate as when I gave away 1 million hex on Ski Cat's behalf at the first mass hex meetup, and I never would have predicted in a million years that giving away tens of thousands of dollars would be such a hateable act on the internet. David, can you weigh in?
I mean, the internet loves to hate everything, as Richard has mentioned. It doesn't matter what you're doing, some portion will hate it. But
they're the loudest voices. Whatever happened to Ski Cat? I mean, I know he wasn't on Twitter. He's mostly on YouTube.
He's okay.
Is he? I mean, he's not on Twitter, right? That's not overlooking that.
Yeah, Ski Cat has a Twitter account. Yeah,
really.
He doesn't
at
tweet
Ski Cat
much.
7.
Is it 7 or is it 22? Yeah,
he's the
7?
real
Okay. I forget the. Yeah, I'll go with what you said, Matty. Let's go with 7. Right? It's like at Ski Cat 7, something like that. But he doesn't tweet much. I actually met somebody in Vegas who knows him in real life, so that was really cool. And I didn't get to meet Ski Cat himself, but I met one of his friends, and he's doing good.
Oh, interesting.
good
Yeah,
to hear.
he is. What an OG he is. I mean, he gave like Crypty like 1 million hex or something. She staked it for like 15 years. And
she got a couple
million.
million.
Yeah, there have been a lot of people that have been onboarded by Ski Cat, he's a very generous individual. But shout out to him.
Totally.
Absolutely. So there are the haters out there that they just hate free money.
Yeah,
they hate seeing anybody win.
I think they're scared.
That's one class.
People.
We can get past the hate. Yeah, right. But here, go ahead, David.
Well, I'll just say people are, especially Hexicans, they're nervous and scared and not trusting of new smart contracts. And 99% of the people out there, they can't read the code. They don't know what the claim functions are doing or what they're actually signing in MetaMask. So I think that's where a lot of the hesitation comes from.
Absolutely.
And we need to be careful.
MetaMask, and I totally agree, we need to be careful. I guess it's my own cringing when I see like other people in the Hex community who, like just have huge audiences and are like, taking more of a technical approach, like not knowing certain things. And maybe that's just me being an asshole or something. But here,
if you have like a big audience in crypto, you should probably be.
You should know what you're doing.
You should be pretty competent, when analyzing crypto projects and smart contracts.
This is
so
the magic.
If you don't, you gotta learn that stuff because
So let's teach everybody. So this is the magic thing that you want to see. This is new in MetaMask. MetaMask now tells you what it's doing when it pops up a window. I worked with Future Us. We created a front end for Hex. We don't take a fee. It's out there, tshare.app. And I learned when I was working on designing the front end that at the time, MetaMask did not tell you in lay terms what code you were running, which was a huge security vulnerability. Now, at least on the desktop Chrome extension version, not on the mobile, unfortunately, yet, but on the desktop version, it tells you what function type you're running. And so if the function type you're running is approve all my coins to be spent by a mysterious Doge creator, then you probably don't want to pay the gas to run that function. But if it says claim is a function that is, to my knowledge, it's a standard thing. It's not going to surprise you with, that's what the function is it only runs code that can claim something instead of getting you hacked. And so it doesn't seem to me, and somebody can correct me with facts if I'm wrong, but it doesn't seem to me that, Hexicans need to be able to read every line of code that you've written to create this token. But in fact, what they need to worry about is what this claim function is, or, if there's a presence of this, then I would say it's much more known and less hacky.
Yeah, I think what I've understood is just throughout this whole thing is we need more technical people in this community because that guidance is kind of missing, and the approach just seems to be everything's a scam except things that Richard creates and or things that people sacrifice to. They sacrifice to it. They are going to trust it 110 million %. It's like, what? If you give money to a common pool for no expectations of profit, excluding Richard's things, it's, automatically on like the okay list, which like boggles my mind. But hey, it's just, it's just this is the community, man. Anyway, guys, PulseDogeCoin is free to claim. PulseDogeCoin.app is the site where you can claim it. If you are a Hex staker, you can claim it. Go to PulseDogeCoin or even PulseDoge.com if you prefer that URL. It's just a redirect.
You're the original owner of that domain, is that correct?
I am the I'll get into that, but that's fun. But you go to that website, just read it, read the website, because I think that's missing from like most people. Just read the website, read the white paper. Just do that. You can take a look at the smart contract. There are notes in the smart contract. Don't just think it's like, oh, it's code. My eyes are going to roll back and I'm going to, fall on the ground. There are notes in the contract.
Yeah,
it's very readable. It's very clear what it's doing, and the cost to claim is like, I mean, dude, it depends on what gas is, but it could be anywhere from like $8 to max like 30 on a really busy day. So
oh yeah, I never paid anywhere near 30 for this yet. The most I paid was 20, and that's with like 50 GUI, so it's not that bad. It's pretty cheap.
Yeah, I mean, it could spike up to like maybe 120, 150. I mean, it's Ethereum, so who knows? NFT drops, all of a sudden spike the GUI up to like 700. The
wallets that are able to claim 12, those pretty much break even in the gas. But even still, it's still a good deal because you get a coin, you're going to have it for the fork. Who knows where it's going to go? $12, it's not going to kill you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's cost. It was designed to be as cost effective as possible. The only other way that it could be cheaper for said people getting the airdrop is if they were to just receive it to their address, right? But you know how that sending out mass amounts of tokens to people is very expensive. Actually, just to do an ERC20 transfer from one address to another costs more than just the claim function. I believe it uses more gas. The way Ethereum calculates, it would be very comparable to it, if not more expensive, to just send an ERC20 rather than claim it. So this is designed intentionally to be as cost effective as possible, or else you could do it on a tier 2 network, and like many other coins have done, and they'll be like, hey, you get your ERC20 meme coin, not even ERC20, but the equivalent on whatever chain, Binance Smart Chain, Solana, you name it, and then you have to go through a bridge onto CZ's network and interact with the contracts there, and you're welcome to do that. But I'm not really a big fan of bridging off Ethereum. I like Ethereum, and most people are on Ethereum. So It's probably a good idea to keep your audience on Ethereum, because that's where most people are in the general, crypto world.
100%. I completely agree.
So this is the best way to get people into a project that is, that was made to be as fair and distributed as possible. But sorry, so I cut you off, David. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to agree, and I wanted to add. I think that's even why I feel that PulseDogeCoin already has more adoption than the other Pulse Doge, because they're on BNB. No, Hexicans aren't on BNB. I don't want to go there. I'm not going to Binance land. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. Like I live on Ethereum for now. Pulse Chain coming soon, but yeah, Ethereum is everything. Even Matic and QuickSwap. I don't want to go on that chain either. Like it's, Ethereum is where all the action is.
Yeah, he's gonna get bridges are pretty good, right? They're relatively fast, but like to go from Ethereum to BSC, it's like you're paying on the Ethereum gas to
$200.
To run the transaction. It could get expensive. I don't know if it could get up to that, depending on how much gas is at the time. But
Sure.
yeah, it's just like, why do that? Like, there's no need. The audience isn't there. And if we're comparing like Pulse Doge to PulseDogeCoin, the projects, they're completely separate. And no hate to Pulse Doge, right? I think his stuff, his art is great. I love it, actually. It's great. And I've been a big fan for a very long time. But what I noticed is the adoption is terrible. It's flat. It's dead. It's dead. There's no onboarding. He's got a meme, right? He's got his own meme. But it does not attract an outside audience at all. It's just it's very masturbatory. It's just the people that are in the community that and no one else. It's very siloed. And I recognize that, and I was like, this basically the brand. He's running the Doge brand, right? Doge recognition. It's a Doge. That's why he picked his name. It's not original. It's just a fork of an idea of a fork of an idea, a fork of a meme, right? And PulseDogeCoin is just a fork of that. It's just a fork of the free market idea of the meme Doge that people are already familiar with. So he's already using the name Pulse Doge, right? And then it creates this kind of a closed, siloed off group. And in my opinion, wasn't doing a good job at reaching new audience members. And that's why I decided to create PulseDogeCoin. But honestly, you can name it, you can call it Pulse Doge. Like right on the icon, right on the logo, right? What does it say? It doesn't say PulseDogeCoin. It says Pulse Doge. If you go to PulseDoge.com or PulseDogeCoin.com, it's going to get you to the same place. Look, the founder of Pulse Doge did not even buy the domain PulseDoge.com. That's how little he cared about the project, his own project, his NFT project that he's doing like some lottery X Doge whatever. That's great, that's really cool, but that's not going to get adoption. Like I said, no hate. Look, this is us trying to filter out projects that have scale and that scalability and other ones that do not. And I've caught a lot of flack, bro. Why keep the name? Why have the name? Why have the name? And it's like, yeah, the name might seem like a copy. You're just copying someone, but it's just like, no. When you get outside of these the Hexican siloed groupthink, people only recognize Doge, the Doge name. So we have to go with the strongest brand that's already there to reach the maximum number of people. We need the hardest punch. You can't create some like if you just name it, if you have like a cat meme and you just name it like Kitty Coin, or that would work decent. But like you name it like Duck Coin or something, it's not going to work. It does not have the brand recognition. So it has to be Doge, right? It has to be. You have to have the maximum reach, and that's the point that I want to drill into everyone's head. Is it's not about your opinion of which one's better, which one. It's like what one scales better and and has the furthest reach. Doge, great. Let's run with it. That's so like awesome. So I could go through. Doesn't have the domain. Okay. Doesn't appeal to a wide audience. Yep. On BSC. Yep. So those three things are huge hurdles that I've solved. PulseDogeCoin solves it.
That's awesome. And I think that there needs to be competition in outreach in order to have the maximum effect. And that's really what you're saying. It sounds like is that that there wasn't enough competition and that brand, that Doge brand, like was being underutilized, and you were able to, go there and to fix the problems with that. And I really like the tokenomics that you have here. I think that
it's not just about the brand. There's a lot more to PulseDogeCoin than just the name. But
I think that you pissed off the bag holders.
Of course. Yeah.
and that is like the primary like internal audience, but the fact that you're thinking about reaching the larger audience, I think is brilliant. And it, makes me more bullish on holding some PulseDogeCoin.
Yeah, the great thing is, the people listening, if you're a hex staker, you don't have to buy it.
You don't
can
have to
claim
buy
it for free.
I
And
love
the great thing is, there's no mega whale to dump on your head. Do you know the distribution for
Yes.
Pulse Doge, right? Or
Yes.
do you know the distribution of PulseDogeCoin, right? Which one do you know? Which one's clear? Go to the website and try to figure out who owns what and what percent. You can't do that. This is a better product. This is a better product. Like that's what needs to be recognized, because I've taken so much flack on and again I'm getting heated up here, but like when you take so much flack and people like change the literally all day every day, change the name for like a week. It's just like, guys, the name's not changing. This says maximum punch. I'm sorry you don't like it, but it's free coin.
He's doing you a favor in like
yes, it is, and it's I just built it. It is a tool that's given out free to every hex staker, to all the owners of hex, the share pool. You guys own this token. It's not my token. It's everyone's token. It's a tool to onboard as many people as you can. The people that won't buy hex, the people that won't buy any other coin because it does this utility farming that they don't understand, that most people, even that interact with it, do not understand. This is easy. This is a layup, dude. It's like they're familiar with Dogecoin. They already buy Dogecoin. $20 is the person that you're gonna talk to that has never interacted with like hex, has probably interacted in some form, shape, whatever, and like with Robinhood, and they probably bought like Shiba Inu or Dogecoin or whatever. They've at least heard of it, and they know Elon Musk, and that right there is a huge brand opportunity to associate with. So yeah, the sky's the limit, and this is a tool for you guys to use. And guess what? You onboard more people, you guys see maximum benefit to your own bag. You pump your own bags. Oh my God, how great is that?
Because the people who sell PulseDogeCoin when it goes up in value because people are onboarding to it are Hexicans, who like buying more hex usually with their gains, or they like getting a little bit of money out to live on, and then they don't have to sell their hex. So
well, you could sell. So here's the thing: you can claim PulseDogeCoin for free, absolutely free. It's like $10-15 to run the transaction to claim it, and it is safe to claim. It is completely 110%. If you were comfortable to claim Uniswap or Gitcoin or ENS, Ethereum name, or 1inch, it's the exact same way. Like the exact same functionality, uses the exact same software repositories. Everything's the same. So let's just make it clear. It is safe to claim. Yeah. So anyway, once you get past that and you claim it, you are free to dump it. There's a market for it. There's a market. It's not you're selling and you'll get like an insane slippage. I think the slippage is very, very small, especially for like the maximum amount that you can claim. Yeah, that's not even an issue either. And it's free money. But if you do give it up, one, you're not getting a copy on Pulse Chain. And two, you might miss out because, guys, there will be a meme coin. If you hadn't noticed, meme coins, they don't go away. Okay, like they don't disappear. The Dogecoin, right? 2013, December 2013. Yeah, when it came out, like it's this April of 2022, and it trends on Twitter. Does Hex trend on Twitter? Not ragging on Hex or anything. I love Hex, but does it trend, or does Litecoin trend, or any of these other coins? It's like, no, Doge does. Like, yeah. It's really that easy. Shiba Inu, right? And Dogecoin,
highest performer 2021.
Yeah. Look at that. A meme coin outperformed all other utility coins. Yeah. But what does it do? If you've ever looked at a smart contract, it's as basic as it gets. It is a basic boilerplate ERC20. That's it. Like guys, it really is clear. There will be meme coins
Jeez.
that launch on Pulse Chain, and you will watch them go up so incredibly high, and you'd be like, oh man, I wish I would have had a piece of that. Oh man, I wish I would have bought it early on. Isn't this great that one was created and given to you for free, and you can be a part of it with minimal effort? How amazing is that? And if someone's like, oh, I'm buying it, you don't have to have this negative attitude toward meme coins anymore. You can have a positive attitude. Oh, you like meme coins? Well, check out this meme coin. Doge, you love Doge, right? Here's some Doge coin. Here's some Dogecoin on Pulse, right? Any brand that you want to make PulseDogeCoin, you want to call it PLSD, you want to call it Pulse Doge, you just want to call it Doge, call it anything that you want because it's a community coin. You can make it whatever you want. It's a blank canvas. Paint the picture that you want to paint with PulseDogeCoin. And that this will have maximum reach toward all the people that buy these things, because if you hadn't noticed, those communities are massive. If you go on Twitter, and you just look up like just hashtag Doge or Dogecoin or Shiba Inu, those people, it will blow your mind how big those communities are. And it's all around a dog. It's a dog. What? Like,
yeah.
These things.
Yeah, you're right.
These things aren't paying you trustless interest or even like distributed fairly, or they don't have any of these narratives. The only narrative it has is a dog. So you have all these other narratives that you have with PulseDogeCoin. It's scarce. You like scarce things. You like NFTs and scarcity. Great, it hits that. You like scarcity, low market supply, cheap price, a lot of potential, right? Sky's the limit. It's cheap transactions on Pulse Chain, double copy, given for free, given to the best crypto holders that have ever existed, right? Strongest diamond hands. Dude, you can hit any of these marketing pitches. Like it's like, this is a no-brainer, guys. This is what in basketball, this is a layup. This is an easy layup. And it would be, I think it's very smart to embrace this and not just hit the first barrier and be like, but the name's the same as this other one. Great, they both can exist. Like
the name is the same as something that nobody likes,
right?
Exactly.
Like, this one wins.
Oh no!
Yeah, PulseDogeCoin has clearly taken over now, and I also want to put out the idea there too, because of the fork on the Pulse chain. This might be an option to get almost incentive tokens for almost free. You can take your Ethereum PulseDogeCoin, take your PulseDogeCoin, and stick them into PulseX as a liquidity provider once we're on mainnet. So literally, you got this airdrop for free, you get the fork for free, and then you could just shove them in there and get fees for almost free. So it's like a win-win-win.
Hexicans do that best.
We've even got whales in the chat. Hex19 is
there. You go,
having fun with PulseDogeCoin and not selling. There you go.
There you go.
And that maybe transitions us into, this discussion about how you picked the tokenomics. I've done my own analysis here, so to speak, because I was bored this weekend and really wanted to get into the weeds on something. So I've kind of collected some different.
Oh, nice.
I've collected some different screenshots of like what this is like. I'm not a hex shark, by the way. It's a screenshot I took many moons ago before there was a turtle class.
Sure, you're not.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I wish. I'm not. But that was what I was aspiring to, which price got away from me. But
I feel
you super teenage mutant ninja turtles out there you used to be called oily octopi, and you definitely got a brand upgrade there. This is a visualization of where the coin, who the coins got airdropped to, what addresses, and here I've got like a description for each claim. The OA for PLSD calling themselves the I think benevolent address, the BA, and the Hex OA each get 10 PLSD, and then 50,000 PLSD went to a liquidity address. And we can talk about staker app claiming after we get just into this idea that you don't give the whales the most.
Yeah. It's
Tell us
an
about
interesting one. Yeah. I mean, I can get into to all of that. So, yeah. So I guess I'll just start out with the whales, the distribution. If you want to go back to that distribution chart,
Yes.
the idea that I was just kind of playing around with, because it's just different values that you can plug into, the value that you could give out, and the amount of people that are likely to claim, and people for each class. And I wanted to get it as close to like kind of a bell curve as possible, more or less. And yeah, this kind of just the values of what you see is kind of what what I arrived at. And the thing is with the reason the coins are distributed to these classes is because, in my opinion, I don't know this for a fact, but from my observation, is these classes, dolphins, squids, turtles, crabs, I think these people onboard the most people into crypto. I think these are the more of the regular people that have slightly average, slightly above average, and slightly below average, right? Whatever the mean is. I think that group of people are the strongest onboarders. I think those people onboard the most people. I don't think the whales do. I think if I won't go too much into the whales, but the sharks, the sharks especially, dude, you just look at, analyze their behavior. Just go to the top 100, go to hex.vision, and then look at the leaderboard, the stake leaderboard, and then just start going through those. And you can download, you can use a staker app on your desktop, right? If you're running Windows or Mac OS X, download BlueStacks. It's just an emulator and you can run Android apps. Download staker app on there, and then just start copying and pasting all the top 100 shark addresses, and then you'll start to see the behavior, and then you can copy it into Etherscan and see what they do, kind of analyze. And some of the sharks aren't too friendly. They're actually kind of unfriendly toward the Hex project. They kind of dump hard. Nothing against Hex. I love Hex. It is brilliant. It literally is a better Bitcoin. Don't get me wrong. It is the best crypto that's ever been invented thus far. It's absolutely great. And kudos, shout out to Richard. He literally is one of the smartest people on the planet, hands down. Yeah, but there are sharks in the community. No pun intended. There are shark classification that aren't too friendly, and they dump the price pretty hard. And I don't think that money's going to onboarding. I don't think that money's going to pump the bags. I think they have a lot, and they don't really they've reached maximum opportunity in their mind, so they'll basically offload now. And the people that are smaller might have the idea that it's going to do another 10,000x, and guys, it might not. Like, that's it. I don't want to save you years and years of your life and your thinking to tell you that it might not do that, because there's a lot of economic sell pressure in these classes. Sharks and some whales, sharks and dolphins, that might be hard to overcome without large narratives to push it higher, right? I'm not saying Hex can't go higher and go a lot higher. It probably will. It probably will. But other things might have, slightly more potential to outperform it. Yeah,
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. But anyway,
makes sense.
Anyway, the distribution model, I thought, was the best for rewarding regular people, the best people that onboard, right? So the best onboarders. And I want it to be an airdrop that felt fair. It felt like when Hedron came out, that was like basically a huge gift to our already large hex whales. And the hex whales have no problem, right? They are already very wealthy people, and you pretty much just gave a new shiny object and then gave most of the distribution to the largest players. And all these new people came in not knowing the distribution. They had no idea. And they may have bought a good amount thinking that they can have billions and billions. Oh my God, I can have billions of Hedron. And then they're, basically unknowing that it has like a massive supply. And that massive supply, it basically just, there's no incentive to really hold it. It's just kind of just offload it. You can offload it daily. Like one very large player could literally set the price down every day.
They have.
I can get into it, but I don't want to smack talk I don't want to dunk on any of the existing projects, because I think Hedron's a good project. And
it's not about the project. I want to address that.
That's just the reality of what happens. So I wanted to slightly change a distribution that rewarded people that don't typically get the rewards, that don't typically see that. I don't know if that performs better or worse. It might perform worse, right? It might be great giving, tokens, right? 90% of your tokens or more to the 1% of the crypto holders or whatever. But this is just a proof of concept. Who knows? I've never seen this done before. And there's a lot of new things with this project. And if you want to be a part of it, it doesn't cost you anything but a free claim. That's it. That's it. It's a win-win. It's. I don't know how this could be gifted any easier, and it's just.
To talk about Hedron, what we were just mentioning in liquidity. I have not done the chain analysis myself on this, so this is just hearsay. This is Hexican rumors that I hear in Telegram, is that supposedly what's happened to the Hedron price is the OA of Hex claimed and minted a ton of Hedron. And then it took all the Hedron it minted, which made it, I think, like the number 2 wallet above the source address for Hedron.
Yeah.
Right. And then he took a bunch of Hex, the Hex OA took a bunch of Hex and shoved them both in there in liquidity pool.
Yep.
And it's freaking huge. It's huge. So now Hex and Hedron are locked together, and the price of Hedron is going down, and it's, the value is going to Hex. I'm curious, based on the distribution here, I'm wondering if the Hex OA is going to play with
PulseDogeCoin. Yeah, but PulseDogeCoin solves this. So I did notice that the OA, right?
Wait a second. You mean when I lost half my audience for saying that Hedron and tradable stakes are a problem, you mean the OA agreed with me to some extent?
Yeah, but besides besides Hedron kind of breaking the idea of Hex being, you create a stake and it's non-transferable. It's, besides that, what the OA did was it slowed down the price to the upside, because it was starting to go up a lot. Hedron was kind of going nuts, and people were swapping their Hex, and it was bringing the Hex price down. So what's the one thing that you can do to slow that down besides selling your Hedron into the open market and killing the project? You can just basically put an enormous amount of liquidity and slow it way down. And I don't know what the price will do. I mean, dude, this is crypto. It could go up, and could all be wrong, right? But I just see there's no reason
anybody's guess.
If you're a speculator and you're looking at charts or whatever, it's like, have you ever seen the? This is an early project that tried to rip off Hex. It was called Wise. There's a Wise to ETH ratio. You can find it like Dex Tools or whatever. It's the funniest chart. Literally just goes down forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. If you view it, it might look sideways. You got to switch. You got to make sure you're on the ETH pair, the ETH pair, but literally it just goes down because it has a massive pool and people just basically unlock it and sell it down. I imagine Hedron will do something very similar to that. It might get the pumps because it's correlated to Hex, Hart's law and everything. But I don't know. Like, look, I don't want to dunk on any projects. But if you hold a lot of Hedron, just know that there are a lot of other people that own a lot more than you. Like that's just it. Like it's
Totally.
So what incentive, you got to ask what incentive they have to hold it.
So here on this chart
that's
for
tokenomics.
for Pulse Dogecoin here and for the Hex OA, it's at maximum. If it mints, it gets less than that, or does it automatically get those coins sent to it?
Yeah. So the Pulse Dogecoins distribution, right? So out of respect and legitimacy for the project and in good faith, the OA was and will get so each address that claims, so your address, you claim your free PLSD, right? That basically in the contract stores a cumulative plus 10 every time a claim occurs, and then at the end it basically takes the amount that accumulated and basically gives that to two addresses. It mints it for the Hex origin address and Pulse Dogecoin's benevolent address. Now, whatever, if anyone even owns or knows the keys or whatever, that is unknown. That is not for anyone to know, because this is not a financial security. Ask Richard Hart about the OA.
They're both the same.
See what he tells you. You should expect
this is not a security.
No expectation of profit. And to my knowledge, the OA is never spent, or it's never spent, never exchanged, never sold a single hex. I imagine the BA, right, the Pulse Dogecoin's BA, will probably maybe do the same. Who knows, though? It's like I said, not a security, no expectation of profit. That's all I'll say about it.
Yeah. Standard for our industry these days.
But you'll notice that it doesn't, it's not 90% of the tokens. It's not a vast majority. The vast majority is given to regular stakers. This is a community project. That's what I want to get into everyone's head. This is like, whether you like me or not, this is not mine. This is ours. This is every staker's meme coin. You can hate it, you can sell it, you can dump it. Look, if you hate it, sell it, dump it. You can get money for it. You can get real money for it. Oh my God, what's better than that? I hate this person. They gave me something for free. Sell. You could sell it, do it. You're out of the game. There's no yield. You're not earning yield. Even if you hold a little bit, you're not earning yield on it. It's like, once you sell it, it's done. It's done. It's gone.
I was pleasantly surprised with the Pulse Dogecoin price, even when it first launched, over $1. It's a hell of a chart. I mean, we've gone up to a high of $3, a low of 75 cents. I mean, even just in the past 72 hours, it is a trader's dream. If you know how to set limit orders on matcha and buy dips and sell tips, holy crap, you can make 2x's in 24 hours. It's pretty cool. It's got a cool chart.
Yeah, it's got sufficient liquidity too that you can buy into or sell into relative to the market cap. I know
even a dolphin.
I've caught a lot of criticism that they're like, oh, the market cap to liquidity is too high, and it's like, yeah, maybe for now, but it's you can sell into it, so that's great. That's great. You can claim and sell into it, and you get Hex for it, or Hedron. Everyone loves Hedron. You can swap it for Hedron, or go and sell it. Sell Pulse Dogecoin. Go to the bridge, click the bridge, do the bridge, then go to BSC and swap it for Pulse Doge. If you like Pulse Doge a lot, do that, right? It's like,
we haven't talked about it yet. There's no inflation to Pulse Dogecoin after the minting phase, right? There's no more. You can have, once the claim period's over. If you missed it, you missed it. That's it. And if I'm not mistaken, it's like the first meme coin that's ever had a fixed supply, right?
yeah. So like other meme coins, they're like busy burning tokens. They're like burning. There's like this meme coin that came out the other day, and like literally within hours, they're like already burning like 1 billion tokens or something. You're like, hold on, why even create those tokens if you're just gonna burn it? Like it's just extra shenanigans that you're adding to it. It's just like, hey man, what's in my tokenomics? Or I burn this token that I created 1 billion, 1 billion trillion of them, or a quadrillion, right? Try to count up to that number. So yeah, this doesn't have any of that. Within 100 days, you have 100 days to claim it. I think it's like now like maybe 93. You have 93 days to claim it. And you don't get, it's not like the first week those people get more than the second. No, it's just you got 100 days to think about it. Twiddle your thumbs. Try not to look at the chart too much, or stare at the chart. It's really
a good
interesting.
chart.
Or the amount of people that have claimed, because there have been a lot of people. But you have 100 days, 93 now. Claim it if you want. It's going to be on Pulse Chain at day one. All the other meme coins, they have to send you the tokens once Pulse Chain is actually a go, right? Once it's live, you're not going to get them right off the bat. You can't trade them, whatever. You're not getting them natively because they're on a completely separate chain. They have to send them to you, or you have to go through a claim process. You don't have to do that with Pulse Dogecoin. Pulse Dogecoin fixes this. Again, it fixes problems that all these other meme coins have, brought on to themselves by not being well designed. This is a well-designed meme coin. and you didn't get it for free either. All the other meme coins, you check your wallets. They're not there. You didn't get it for free. So anyway, aside from dunking on all the other meme coins, native day one, you'll get it. So you'll get a copy. It's great. I get that. This is the one point I kind of want to make.
In all transparency, I want to disclose a couple of things. So I don't have anything to do with the project other than claiming the airdrop, and I am a huge proponent of airdrops. Motley the investor and I were like the two main people who were like being total degens, like setting up tons of wallets to get like a MetaMask airdrop.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And it's like, it was right around the time when he and I were putting out tons of videos about airdrops that Richard was like, oh, maybe I'll do an airdrop, the biggest airdrop in the world. And I'm not saying that had anything to do with Richard doing it, but I'm just saying that like in an environment where airdrops were becoming such a big deal, that's where Pulse came from. Okay. So like, if you like Pulse, you probably like airdrops. You probably like free money. If you follow Richard Hart, you got rich off Uniswap, which by the way, if you staked it,
big time,
is now worth
huge.
over $1 million.
Bless him. Yeah.
Oh.
Bless Richard for getting everyone into Uniswap.
He made it famous. Richard made it famous. Yeah,
he did. He did. It was the biggest trading pair for a long time on V1.
Your ENS deadline is coming up next week. So if you ever bought an ENS domain name, go claim your 2,000 free dollars and buy Hex or Pulse Dogecoin or whatever you want to buy.
Or USDC, cash it out and buy yourself a brand new suit. Do what's best for you, right? Like do what's best for you. You don't have to swap it for any other crypto. You're
going to want that dry powder for Pulse Chain. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. That's true.
So I'm not a trader, but like I want to understand the psychology, and so I did trade Pulse Dogecoin a little bit here. I bought a dip at like 77 cents, and
you got that right at the bottom.
I know,
Yeah,
dude. Like I have the
nice.
transaction to prove it. And I've been messaging Nomics like, yo, your data is whack. You need to show the actual low that I myself got. Like, come on, guys. And Clay Collins was like, all right, I'll like hook you up with one of my data people. So
Oh, really? Well,
yeah. Like they're just
Clay's a
like
good
don't
guy.
you
Clay's
hate
a
it
good guy.
people,
He-
and
yeah.
sometimes they'll treat you okay.
Yeah.
And
And look, Clay
Lame.
threw Hex underneath the bus. Let's be real, but I think he's genuinely a good guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no hate
Facts.
toward him.
All right,
And-
well,
and
I'll be
so-
the Hexican that hates Nomics then. Fair enough.
Cool. Good. We need balance.
Yeah.
I need to balance out my optimism on Nomics.
Yeah, we got all this. We got every angle covered here.
The other thing that probably isn't fair, but maybe it is like so since I set up multiple wallets, I got to do multiple claims for PLSD, and I saw
Same
somebody
here.
in the chat was like, complimenting things and saying, if you're a whale and pulse Dogecoin, meaning that you have a large percent of the supply, then you had to have bought your position. And I would say, I don't think I'm a whale with the number of wallets I set up. And you had to actually spend money on gas and spend money on Hex and create a Hex stake if you wanted to set up multiple wallets. But with that being said, I just wanted to disclose that, like, yeah, I got more than other people. But also, if you think that this is going to become a trend like I do, I think that this is going to be the summer of T share drops. Okay.
I look forward to
By-
that.
by that,
Yeah.
I mean that what you're doing, I hope, becomes an example to everybody else to do a fair distribution, to think about tokenomics, to be better with marketing and branding and launch in the right place, and all these different things that you're doing, to have the right attitude about onboarding people and reaching people who will eventually buy Hex and use that as their savings plan. I think if people are out there and they have stakes coming out on their staking ladder, like, it might benefit you to split up some of your Hex into different wallets and create stakes, if this becomes a trend, as I suspect it could be. So that's just something to throw out there, that and then you always have to do the math yourself. Motley, the investor, and I realized that we were wasting a bunch of gas, and if we had put that just into Hex, we might have performed better. So chasing airdrops is expensive, but it's it may be a game that you want to play.
Yeah, to build on Maddie's point, if one of your stakes becomes it expires, so you end it, and you move it to a different wallet, that if you've had your wallet for years and years and years, and you're like, you're a little hesitant for like security, just create a new wallet, send over that Hex, and create a new seed phrase, right? Just create a new wallet, new phrase, new private key, and then just keep them separate. And you're kind of instead of one honeypot, so to speak, you're separating it. So from a security standpoint, it might be a good idea to like, if one ever got compromised, you still have a backup, or another backup, or 4 of them or 5 of them.
Totally.
Yes. Yeah, for security purposes as well, there could be some advantages for some people to have multiple seed phrases, multiple addresses, and you have to weigh that against, are you going to lose those? Or
yeah, exactly.
Be very intentional. And so when we look at this this supply, I'm curious, and we can walk through for the people just listening at home and not watching the screen. But first off, I wanted to ask, what is a goldfish?
I needed an image for the smaller than shell. So if you go on like the Staker app, there's you'll see like what, or even the website, you'll see what constitutes as a shell. And this is courtesy of Firebon and Steph. I think Steph may have come up with 0x Steph on Twitter. Huge shout out to him. What a great marketing with the sea animals and the leagues. That's just great. I've seen so many people copy it throughout the last about a year and a half, 2 years, because it's good. It's great. So yeah. Anyway, I wanted to build upon that. Now the shell is between two, like you have the share pool, and shells have like 0.00001% of the share pool, but there are addresses that have less than that. Not that many, but there are. They are there.
Like 1,000.
Yeah, it's very, very small. And I was either drop those people or still reward them, but not as much. And then what do I just say? Other, for the quote marketing of it. It's like, nah, I'll just come up with a little fish, because they're a little fish.
Not a plankton.
I guess that probably would have been better. That would have been better. I will admit. Yeah, but yeah, the goldfish.
So and then just like reviewing all the numbers, like I figure out.
Go ahead.
Because like somebody messaged me, like somebody on your team like messaged me like the actual numbers, and I put them in here, but then I couldn't figure out, because I don't think that they're M shares. I think that they're a unit in between like M shares and what's lower than that. But all the math works out. So like, but I just
if you want this data, just go to hex.vision. There's you can pull the staker leaderboard. That will give you the exact same data. So that if you want to like compare or verify or anything like that, the only address that won't match up with that is the liquidity address. That's 50,000, and that's just for initial liquidity from day one. Like I said, there's no shenanigans. Everything is straightforward. You just literally read the website. It doesn't even take that long. You read like.
And that was the Uniswap V3 US dollar coin pair.
That's right. Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Yep. And that was just to provide liquidity. All the other whitelisted addresses, and this is also on the GitHub, the data set of all the addresses, the amounts, all that is open to verify, criticize, you name it. You can,
I'm such a nerd. I read all that. I even went into it and I searched for my own addresses.
Yeah,
and
no, that's great.
Before I claimed and did it.
I want people to do that, because if they don't, then what's the point in doing it right if people aren't going to test against it? There needs to be people to test against it. It's like that's important. So yeah, definitely do your thing, guys. Like it's.
Good job on the GitLab and all the documentation, because I read the contract on there, and I don't know all the
well,
but what do you call remarks or notes, remarks, right, for coding were great. That's how it should be in code. It's like, here's a description in regular English, here's a sentence that tells you what's happening, and then there's the line of code that does it, and you can follow along, and then there's the next one, and it's. You can read it. Anybody can read it. You just got to take the time and look at it.
It is definitely able to be read by, if you can read English, and like you don't necessarily need to be a programmer to understand. Some things are pretty clear, like programmatically what's actually happening. So
yeah, totally. Yep.
And if you don't, guys, if you don't. Understand programming or Solidity, and it all seems really hard, go on YouTube. Look at some documentation, like watch an hour video. You'll know a lot more than you'll learn a lot more than you realized you could learn in an hour. So, and then that stuff's good forever.
It's a good idea.
Yeah,
that's a really good idea. And then I did a video on my channel about how to claim using the Gnosis Safe and Staker app.
Yes, thank you. Everyone go to David's channel on YouTube.
I don't know if I did something wrong the first time, or did you make an update or a patch, or I don't know, because I tried it and it wasn't working, and then a day or two goes by, I try again and it worked just fine, flawlessly. So
but now it's not working.
No, because I heard there were people that were saying it worked. before you made that video, and then there were people that were telling me, no, it works. No updates were put out besides you being able to. So for anyone that's like, oh, the front end, it's a scam. You can actually claim through Etherscan that the directions are there on how to do it. So, to clarify, because people like the first day, second day were like, but I can't do it on Etherscan. It's like, yeah, you need to, you need to be able to create the proof, and the front end does that, but you can create that on your own, or the website can just create the proof and you can input that and claim. So either version works.
Does that work with the Gnosis safe?
So that's going to be slightly separate, but as far as the Gnosis, look, the Stake Your App guys, they, Steph and Firebun and team, right, the rest of the team, they did a good job with setting up and integrating Gnosis, and as far as like their security goes. But let me tell you, it's a B word to try to do anything with it. It just makes it a little bit complicated, and that's like
it's the wallet connect interface.
Yeah, I mean it's I don't know. You have to kind of like.
Was that challenging to deploy when you did the front end for the Pulse? When you did the wallet connect button to get that integrated?
It took a couple hours to get that, because you would think it would be easier than, they make it sound easy, add MetaMask. You're saying for add the
the functionality
or the functionality
for you to add the button on the site that would allow for Gnosis Safe to connect with, it's called Wallet Connect.
Oh, Wallet Connect, and you have MetaMask option.
Yeah,
I think that is that's pretty standard. I believe that's. It depends on what software repository you pull from.
Okay.
I know I still had trouble claiming with Stake Your App, and so I'll get with David offline, or I'll try out some other method, and then we can make a video for people who are having trouble, because I know that there are a lot of people still having trouble. And
yeah, I know a lot of people have done it. I haven't sat down and I have not used the Stake Your App to create a stake, so I have not even directly tested. So it's not something that I've done, and it's not something that I've tested. I may try to test it at some point, but to be honest, I've got a lot going on, and the thing is, it built something. It gives you free coins. Some people have been able to do it successfully. Other people have not. I can't sit here and basically troubleshoot people.
Yeah. No expectation
free, right?
of the work of others.
Right.
This is not security. So yeah, let the community handle it.
Yeah, and even same for me. I get somebody like, "Hey, please help!" Like,
yeah,
it didn't work.
If
please
someone
help. Like, I'm sorry, I can't help everybody. Like,
right, if someone's like,
videos.
it worked, I know how to do it. Just ask them how they did it.
Actually, I lied. I did call Johnny the other night. Johnny called me. I did help Johnny out because he with his Stake Your App and claiming.
Oh, nice.
The problem Johnny was running into is in the MetaMask.
He got it. He says
you got to put your seed words into the MetaMask in your browser from
if
the
it's
Stake
not.
Oh, otherwise, you're not the owner of the Gnosis Safe.
Interesting.
So we figured that out. And yep, so it does work. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more complicated than just having MetaMask, opening it up, and to claim. Like that's what it was designed for. The design intention was to be MetaMask, click a button, good to go. But yeah.
It's very easy to claim on MetaMask.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
yes,
yeah.
Very easy.
Yes. Yeah, so giving free money to people who are not the already whales, not really creating new whales, I guess, but creating a more fair distribution, literally a better distribution that's really cool, because again, no one person can sell the price down super hard unless they've bought, or if they're a super rare person who created a ton of wallets, but then they would have had to have a lot of hex, and then they'd only be able to sell once, right? So it's I think really unique in that sense. And the FUD that the community is giving, I think, is just ignorance and being safe. And, people still have plenty of time to claim. One question that I have is, what happens if you claim after the snapshot for Pulse Chain happens?
Yeah. Okay. So there's a couple different scenarios, because I think Richard earlier said mid-May was still on for release of, I don't know if he's talking about V3 or the full snapshot. And I know there's some speculation of people being like, oh, is V3 the snapshot is going to be the same snapshot used for Pulse Chain? I don't know. We'll have to wait for his, him giving the information. So I can't really speculate. Are you going to say something, David? I don't know.
No, I was just going to agree with you. Only the master knows that. No, none of us know. Like, nobody knows, man.
But a few different options or scenarios that could happen, right? Is you could claim it and you could keep it in your wallet when the fork, quote, snapshot, same thing, really occurs. You will have it that same thing on Pulse Chain and Ethereum. Cool, right? Everyone can understand that pretty easily. If you claim it right now and sell it, and you don't have it at the time of the snapshot, you won't have it on Pulse Chain. If you do not claim it and the snapshot occurs, you can still claim it on Ethereum, and you can claim it on Pulse Chain. You just go to your MetaMask Swap network, good to go. So those are two different ways. So you're basically getting the exact same thing on both networks. If you claim right now, you're not going to miss out on Pulse Chain unless you sell it. And, in that case, right, you won't get a copy. But so that's the way crypto works, right? The way forks and stuff happen. So,
yep. Yeah. So technically,
there's no benefit to,
If you want to save a teeny weeny little bit of pulse gas, you're better off just claiming now on Ethereum, and then they'll be waiting for you versus going two mintings later. But you're talking like what is gas going to be on Pulse? Like a fraction of a hundredth of a penny. It's going to be like nothing.
For now.
For like a while, a couple months. In the beginning, it's gonna be great, man. You'll be able to click buttons all day on Pulse Chain. They're like free. It's like, oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, it'll feel like testnet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's so smooth, so
fast.
I'm
looking forward to. I think Pulse Chain is going to be. I think it's brilliant. To fork Ethereum is. I think that's out of this world brilliant. Because so many forks have happened with Bitcoin, and you saw Bitcoin, right? Two halves do not equal the whole. A lot of the times, it's greater than the whole. So value is actually created during a fork. But we will see. We'll see how many pairs bridge over. So it's just super excited. Everyone should be really excited about this, because this has never happened before, and I'm glad that I can be a part of it, right? It's if you weren't there for Bitcoin being forked into Bitcoin Cash and like all the stuff that happened during that time, you might look at it and be like, oh man, that would have been really cool to be involved in that, or just part of it. But it's like something, in my opinion, like 50 times bigger is now happening, or even 100 times bigger scaling, comparatively. That's happening not too long. So you definitely want to be involved in that.
Oh man, I can't. I'm speechless. I'm so excited.
Who knows how it's going to go down the first couple of days, just because front ends, hopefully everything's operational.
I ain't touching nothing, man. Let it cook. You gotta let the cake settle and cool off for the first couple of days. Let the bridge open.
The most opportunity is in the first couple of days. True. Until things settle, right? It's like anything in life, right? Everything's concrete until it all of a sudden shifts, and then and it slows back down, and then that's the way it is for a while, and then same thing, you know. But yeah, anyway.
I went on a channel today with like 75,000 subscribers. Somebody I met at the Bitcoin conference who just wanted to learn more about Pulse Chain and Pulse X, and was happy to have their audience educated about Hex at the same time. So
wow, that's
very
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
Dang, who was that?
Mike the Investor, and I put a link to it on my community section. I also when I went to the Bitcoin conference, I ran into somebody that you guys might know. I'm going to play a clip. It's going to be about a minute and a half.
All right, cool.
Hello, I would like to interview you for my YouTube channel. Hello, what is your favorite dog coin? I heard that there are many good dog coins. Thank you for inspiring a generation of cryptocurrency. I can't thank you enough. It's Matty ALLin, M-A-T-I, ALLin. And I brought my DeLorean here.
You a Hex guy?
Yeah. No way.
Well, my company, we finally listed Hex. Yeah.
Oh yeah? Tell me more about.
I just wanted to play the part with the dogs.
Man, I want to pet that dog now.
I know.
Dog was so
That
chill.
was
Good Doge.
that dog is owned by like one of the team members at Transact.
Oh, and that's who's saying who listed Hex was
Yeah.
Transact.
I think so.
Cool.
I think that's who I was talking to at that moment. Yeah. And then, of course, there's a little bulldog pup that got named after me as well in the community here. So he doesn't have his own coin yet. And I said I would never launch a Matty coin. So I'm not sure what we're going to do there. But for now, we have PulseDogeCoin. We have the founder here. What other questions do we have?
You mean from chat or from me?
Yeah, from anybody.
You know, I can't say I have any questions left.
Yeah, I should have came up with a list of questions, concerns. This is, you know, that it could come up with. I could look through my my Twitter feed. It gets blown up. And the first, like I said, the first couple days, man, they just scammer. You know, it's like, oh god, like this is
Self-defense mode, right? Yeah, it's like self-defense activate. That's the perimeter barrier wall of Hexicans where they just no, can't let any other projects in.
Yeah, I understand it, but to an extent, right? To an extent,
Well,
it's just
yeah,
like,
it's okay because then guys like me, because I will go and even if I don't talk about something, like I see it, I see everything. You know what I mean? Like I creep around the internet, like here I, you know what I mean? Like look at where I am right now. Look what I do. You know, like I'm online all the time, so I see everything. So I will read the GitHub. I will read the everything. You know, I'll jump in the Telegram group and
yeah, people appreciate that. People really appreciate that because that is something that the community's lacking. And let me tell you guys, it is only going to get way more flooded with lots and lots of projects and some that are honest, genuine, built with love, given, you know, for free, that want to you know, onboard more people, that want to hit a bigger audience, that are solving a problem. And then there is going to be an infinite amount of scams, of things that are fraudulent, deceitful, lying, like just you name it. So yeah, there is a huge need for people to analyze what's good and bad.
Yes, and even I remember back in 2017 in the ICO days, like I couldn't like go through them all. There was too many. Like I couldn't spend the time to like research them properly and verify if this was a scam or not. So there was a lot of stuff I didn't even like get into, a lot of coins. But on Pulse Chain, I'm going to try my best to check out as much as I can cautiously. But yeah, so you know, we here, me and Maddie, will always be here, and I think we'll always give our first synopsis of a project once we feel comfortable enough to talk about it, right? You know, after we've done our due diligence as best we can. And I think there will be some projects like that they mean well, and then they're gonna have a bug, and they're gonna get exploited, or you know, there's gonna be just
basically the exact same thing that happens right now on Ethereum and has happened in Ethereum and will continue. The same thing's going to happen on Pulse Chain. You know, just make sure not to you know, put your eggs all in one basket, right? Like it's, you know, one thing goes to zero, and then you know that's it. It's done. It's basically like the equivalent of like margin trading 100x long, or if you're on, you know, scummy other margin trading platforms, 125x. You know.
Oh my god.
That's basically the, you know, getting rugged or you know, exploit, you know, a smart contract exploit. It's basically the equivalent. But, so you just want to make sure not to all your eggs in one basket, you know. Be safe, be cautious, practice, you know. Why anonymous? That's great. Why anonymous? That's a great question. One is because I don't want to tell you my name or for you to see my face. Like I don't want to be recognized. And two, this is our project. This is our coin. This is I do not want to be seen as the leader or a leader. I'm just the creator. I just made the canvas. You guys, the community is the paint. You guys paint whatever you guys want and make the canvas valuable, right? Like you're given the tools. You know, PulseDogeCoin is just a tool to, you know, to do whatever you want with it. So I do not put too much importance in me, right? Because you got to understand, I mean, I'm a person, I'm a human. I have a life. I have things to do, you know, outside of crypto. I can't dedicate my life to this, but this is in my opinion, I think this is a great idea and has a lot of potential, and it requires all of us, right? Not just one person. I am not a Richard Hart. I am not able to, you know, do this, you know, 100%. I don't have that energy. The amount of like just interacting with, you know, like just hundreds of people or thousands of people every day online through messages and talking, whatever. I don't have that. It's not me. But you know, I do what I can for the community, for the benefit of all of us. And you know, like I said, I am not the lead. Don't see me as the leader.
Excuse me, a question. I did want to ask. The smart contract is locked and immutable with no admin keys, right?
That's right.
It's already a finished product that will live on as long as the blockchain does forever, right?
100. Yes, he's 100% right. There is no admin key functionality. The two functions that can actually run at the end of the 100 days are just the mint function for the hex.com OA and the PulseDogeCoin.com BA address. That's it. And then I mean, it's just a ERC20 contract at the end of that. You know, very similar to Hex.com's you know, claim phase for and you know, big payday. It was like that portion of the contract is no longer it's no longer used. It's done. It just had its time.
It's over. Yeah. It's
and now it's just a ERC20 with staking. Like that's it. So the same thing. A lot of similarities. Actually, if you compare some of the code was actually
Inspired by
used.
Hex.
I'd say heavily, not heavily inspired, but yeah, very inspired by Hex. Hex.com contract is very well written, incredibly well written.
That's cool.
So yeah, I mean, like, if it's good, don't. It's
don't
good.
fix what ain't broke.
Use it, right? That's software. Like, use what works, and is proven to be safe, and so yeah.
Does the OA have to run a function, or does it get?
No, it could be. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. The function can be run by anyone. It can only be run after the specific period of time. So you could try running it now, but you'll just your transaction will be wasted, right? And so anything that's submitted and runs in the EVM but then fails, you're not getting that gas back, and
Nope.
It could be expensive to run that. So basically, needless to say, anyone can run it. It can only be run after that 100-day claim phase, and then that's pretty much it. So yeah.
Are you the person who created hex.info?
Hex.info, the website?
Yeah.
No, that was someone early on. I didn't create the website. I just acquired the domain. The website, so it is very interesting. Early on, the person that actually, the original owner, or I don't know if it's the original owner or someone possibly down the line that eventually I acquired it from, right? Because I don't know if I got it from that owner or someone else, right? But they had a great website, and they I used it all the time along with Hex.live. If you are a Hex OG and used Hex.live, it was basically it was pre-stake wrap. It was created by Steph. I loved it. It was so great. And then it just went offline, and then it had moved over to a mobile, and it, in my opinion, wasn't as easy to use on like a desktop. So you have to use, an emulator to get that app. Anyway, regardless, there was another website, but it was taken down early on, and it was hex.info. And then there's also a website called like hexinfo.io, which is still up, but that person basically involved themselves in other projects that were similar to Hex that have failed. So yeah, there's kind of
okay.
Oh, you're talking hexinfo.io.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of I mean, I'd say it's somewhat deprecated because it's not really useful.
RH said not to go there anymore.
Yeah, he said that not to go there anymore because I'd say it's kind of a scumbag that runs it. Changed redirected it to it was like the Wise project, the chart that goes down infinitely forever.
Yeah, where Hexicans go to lose all their money.
That person also built a front, like a dashboard, right? Analytic dashboard for them. And yeah, I think that's the reason why he said don't support that. But that is different from hex.info. Hex.info was early on. I did not create it. I thought it was beautifully made at the time. That's what inspired me to that was my goal, but I kind of got distracted. I saw the need for a meme coin, and I was like, oh, this needs to be done right now. Like there will be one, and there will be one that
wish I was there at that moment.
Grabs the attention. Grabs the attention of people, and you want it to be done right because you like.
Do you recall that moment? Like that moment when you're like, "Holy shit! I need to make PulseDogeCoin right now." What happened?
I don't want to go too much into it, but yeah, it was like the people around me weren't too happy because that was all I was focusing on for a good while. So, like I said, I've got a life outside of crypto.
Like you spent like 3 months in like the basement, like coding this thing. Like you were like gone for a little while you like cooked it up.
No. Well, Yeah,
He
I mean,
sacrificed his
wanted-
personal time. to
yeah,
make
it's
this
personal
for us.
time, you know. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, burning the midnight oil. You like you
Mad
work all
respect.
day and you go home and then
Thank
you
you.
freaking do your passion project all
I,
night.
I-
Yeah.
you know, you know, people say that is like, you know, that they imagine one thing, but it was kind of like that. Yeah, it was kind of like that. But it was a strong. There, I felt a strong like a personal need to get to do this. Yeah, this is basically the inspiration. It came within. I'd say. So, yeah, I recognized
cool.
that there was a need for it, and I didn't like. Basically, if I didn't create it, someone else would, and it wouldn't be as good, and it would, you know, if I have the ability to do, then I should, right? So, yeah.
I'd say well done then. Definitely.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think you did
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate that. That does mean a lot because there's got to balance out the hate.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, don't listen to the hate. Yeah, fuck the hate. Yeah, like don't even sweat any of that bullshit on Twitter. Yeah, don't worry about it.
It's just the name. You guys got to understand. It's just the name. You get once you get past the name, you realize that it's, you know, it has maximum reach, all this potential. I think it'll be fine. Both can exist. Both can exist.
Yes.
There was some FUD about the Pulse Police not liking how you did something.
What the hell
Can
is
you
a
speak
Pulse
to that?
Police?
There's a new group that talks shit about new projects and or like says whether they're safe.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Okay.
But they didn't like the Merkle tree for some reason or something.
Yeah, I think the concern was on that was that anyone could, or like, so let's say the founder would insert many different addresses within like the whitelist, and then you basically claim from. So like for instance, like the 50,000 address, the liquidity address,
Yes.
right? That can just be inserted into the data set of addresses. But you know, I tell you this because I want people to not just trust me, but to actually check to check this. Besides that one address, everything else was pulled and not manually like tampered with or arbitrary addresses were like inserted anywhere. Just literally go to Hex.vision, look at the staker board. You can export from there. You can compare the data set is on the GitHub. Compare those, build a script, compare it, and you'll see that they're going to be identical. But you have to make sure to put the to backdate the data set that you pull. So that's
420,
April 20. Yeah, just 420. Yeah.
Good launch date.
Yeah, thank you. That is some things had to be like I'd say it wasn't rushed. It was just done right at the perfect time. So yeah, I thought that would be a good birthday
Beautiful.
for the Hexican meme coin. It's the 420. It's our day. It's our meme coin day. It's like, you know, people already call it like Dogecoin day or Doge day or whatever. You just go on. If you go outside of the Hexican crypto Twitter, you'll see what people associate 420 with, and they call it like Doge Day, and you'll see a lot of memes. So it's a good day. I can't think of a better day to launch a meme coin than 420.
Absolutely.
Totally.
I mean, like April Fool's Day, but then like 420.
Yeah, but people might not take it serious.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Good
like
point.
people might
Yeah,
think
well
it's a joke, but not in a joke that you want it to be.
But it's not really a joke.
Memes are a joke, but like they're kind of like like in a sense like a serious joke. There's like different tiers of jokes.
But the Doge is real. You know, there's many Doges. Like
the Doge is alive. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not alive. Yeah, there are Doges.
Do you fear the Doge?
Dude, everyone should have a respect and fear for the Doge, you know. I don't know what the right answer is to that. Do I go fear the Doge? I fear the dog, fear the meme, fear the.
You're unprepared for this interview.
A little bit, yeah. I didn't get the
just kidding.
preparation questions ahead of time.
Was it you, Maddie, who said you've actually met the real Doge dog in Japan?
No, that was
Or was it Motley, the investor?
like Lex Friedman or something.
Dude, Motley's been
Was it?
everywhere, so he's probably Motley.
Was it Lex Friedman? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lex. He
I thought I
probably
talked.
is.
I could have sworn I talked to somebody in real life who actually met the dog as well.
Did you meet
Hmm.
Lex?
No, sadly not.
Oh, okay.
I thought Lex and I were cool, and then he blocked me.
Oh, he blocked. Oh, during the Twitter storm thing, he got you.
I don't
Dude,
know.
okay, that's the one thing I want to say on this is so the original the OG Pulse Dogecoin Twitter handle and Twitter account basically had like it started getting a lot of followers, and then I think, and I don't want to be accusatory, but I think this happened with pretty good evidence. The Pulse Doge guys flagged it. Their community flagged it for identity something or other, and basically went into Twitter jail. And
Oh, you're
got
talking
suspended.
about your account.
Yeah,
like somebody's
at
account that
Pulse
was
Doge.
associated. Yeah.
Yeah, at PulseDogeCoin, that Twitter handle, Twitter account got suspended, and I appealed it, but they basically denied it because it's basically like a guilty by being flagged. Like if you're suspended on Twitter, trying to get in touch with their support, it's super hard. Trying to get your account back, even harder, especially if it's like a new account. Like if it's not like an established, like 2-year-old account, it's pretty much just toast, because to them it just looks like another, like just another bot that someone spun up, got a lot of followers, then was reported for an identity conflict. No Twitter violations were no Twitter rules were violated at all, but I could spin up another one, but I think I'm just going to stick with Hex.live. You might see another one there. I'll point to it if it's the right one. But yeah, because a lot of people message me and they're like, "Hey, what's going on with this address or with this Twitter account?" It is what it is, guys. People flag it.
Yeah.
It gets
Uncle
taken
Elon's
off.
going to save us soon. Don't worry. We'll get you
Yeah.
back.
Twitter
Yeah.
blocking somebody is super not indicative of whether they're a scammer or not.
No, not at all. Like not.
Because all the scammers still get through. So
It proves you're right.
Oh my
Generally.
gosh!
If you get
Use
banned
the,
from
use
Twitter,
the,
it's like
use
you were
the
saying the
word.
truth.
Yeah, use the keyword MetaMask in Twitter. You'll see all the different accounts that are
Yeah,
not, that are clearly
know.
bots, that are not.
They've learned now. Even if you put the decimals in, like Richard was doing in between
Yeah,
the letters,
the M
they
dot.
figured that out, dude. Like it's brutal.
Yeah, that's actually really annoying. Man, if they could get those guys that are programming those to to build anti-bot and spam mechanisms,
It would actually work, and there would be no freaking bots anyway.
Yeah.
It'd just be humans talking. Like, wow.
Yeah, social media platforms have the worst customer support. It's like fact. Yeah. Anyway, besides the Twitter thing, let's see if I need to make anything else known. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think.
how
just
high
know-
can the price go?
No forward-looking
wants to know.
statements. Yeah, again, no forward-looking statements. Everything that
job.
you have been taught to
Is it a trick question?
expect with Hex, with no expectations, no forward-looking statements. The exact same thing applies 1-to-1. 1-to-1. It's forked into this 1-to-1. You do not expect. This is not an investment vehicle. This is not a security. This is not anything that you should expect profit from anyone.
It's an ERC20 smart contract.
Yeah, it's just numbers in the database. That's it.
Yeah.
If you associate value to it, that's great. Then that's something that's worth money to you. But
Free speech.
it's just, yeah, exactly. It's freedom of value, to value whatever you want. So so I can't make any forward-looking statements, but I can say, generally speaking, meme coins pump the hardest. People go, oh, why meme coin? Why do they pump? Why do they pump so hard? Why do they pump harder than utility tokens? It's just like, because that's just the way the world works.
Them, man. Yeah, they
buy
click the
them.
logo. Yeah, I was shocked by the amount of like people I've met who know a little bit about crypto, and man, the first thing they say is Doge, and it's like, wow, like that's the first coin that they know about, and I know people who have bought it even on Coinbase and other places, and it's man, it's actually well known. So yeah,
they market buy it too. They don't set limit orders. They don't wait for the price to come down. They market buy that.
Smash buy Friday night Dogecoin every paycheck. Like, oh my god, I know people do that or have done it. But I'm excited personally for the tokenomics of this because of the low total supply. Man, I think the price, because of that low total supply, it's like less than half Bitcoin. Well, it depends how much is minted, right? So we'll see.
Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to touch on. Yeah. So the supply can be up to 12 million, 2,000 and something, 2,265, something like that.
But as the highest 12 million? Okay.
That can be minted, but like, to be honest, look at how many addresses have like claimed Hedron. I think it's like, I don't know, I could be wrong on this. I just did like a quick, super, quick overview, and it looked like 20%, somewhere around there, of addresses that could claim have claimed. Could be more, could be less, somewhere around there. The projected is probably 20%, maybe 30, maybe. I doubt it'll go any higher than that. Just because people, they're either not aware. I mean, 100 days is, in my opinion, a pretty long time. But some people, bot hacks staked it, and they either forget about it, they don't check in, they don't do anything. So
they don't Twitter.
They might not claim it. You can't expect all 12 million to be minted. So people might be looking at that number and be like, oh, I'll wait for more to be minted. It's like, you might be just waiting up until the last week, and then all of then people that were like, oh, I was going to hold off because more of it would be claimed, all of a sudden doesn't get claimed. So, do what you will with that information. The speculation is not my department.
I enjoy speculating.
I highly doubt you'll even reach anywhere close to 12 million that could be minted. Though it is possible, if all that 12 million, 2,000 some addresses, those are possible, they can be claimed, right? There's no saying that they cannot, but I truly doubt they will.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, and if you value your wealth in PLSD coin, then, one PLSD equals one PLSD, right?
The better,
like the Bitcoiners say. And right now, in dollar terms, which is most people's unit of account, if you're a dolphin, that's 900 PLSD, which is going for about $1,500 right now. Next category down is a squid with 750. So the claim is $1,300 right now at $1.75. If you're a tinkering turtle, what is that? 225? Does it say 265? And then that gets you $460. Cool crabs get 100, and so that's $176. A shy shrimp is getting 25.
The goal was to get you some, like, basically even the lowest tier or close to the lowest tier, you can still claim and break even, like value wise, after swapping and transaction fees. Yeah, sure, but like, if you just ran the claim function on like 12 and you paid $12 and it's somewhere around $1 in price, you break even, right? So
full disclosure, I had a number of those from back in my early Hex days where I didn't know what the hell I was doing. It was like, oh my god, all these shitty old wallets, like they can claim 12 PulseDoge each.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yes.
Yeah, it was cool. It's
Yeah,
it's really
what
cool.
airdrop? What airdrop are you able to do that? You know?
Yeah, and my tiny wallets are like getting just as much as my bigger ones. Like that's that's cool. Yeah, it's interesting to see. So definitely one to keep an eye on for sure.
And then sorry, Maddie, you were going through the. I just had to.
Please,
mention that.
and so yeah, with $12 worth at today's prices, it's $21 worth of PLSD, and anything below that is maybe you want to wait until to see if gas goes down. If you're one of these 1,000 people that's below a silent shell, maybe that
Sunday
was just
night.
a bot that went through and did something when gas was super cheap a long time ago. But if you're in that goldfish, the new plankton goldfish category, and you get 5 PLSD, that's about $8 or $9 worth. So even that is almost worth the gas even now to claim. Very cool. Very well done.
Should the goldfish be changed to a plankton?
Do a Twitter poll,
Yeah.
What's the community? Create a DAO, whatever.
Straight up steal
Submit
plankton
a
from SpongeBob.
Yeah,
Slap him
submit
on
a
there.
proposal. Yeah, do it like it's.
Just boom.
Yeah, I'll get a cease and desist.
I know.
Yeah.
Nintendo
No
or
copyright infringement.
Nickelodeon will come after you. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's you don't want to piss off Nickelodeon or Disney. Yeah.
So, weird story is like just a nerdy thing. When I was younger and torrenting back in the day, I got a cease and desist from Nickelodeon.
Oh no way.
Yeah, straight up from like Comcast cable when it was many years ago. But yeah, I downloaded SpongeBob.
That.
I was torrenting SpongeBob and cease and desist Nickelodeon. I was like, whoa, shit's real.
That's awesome. I would frame that.
It was a long lost email.
It's like a badge of honor. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
All right.
Well,
anyway,
anything else?
Well, I was gonna, if I could end the this interview slash just general discussion with the audience listening, the meme coin. Meme like crypto coin, that market is massive. The sky is the limit. Hex is great, but not every person that will and eventually be into crypto will be interested in Hex. Some people, different marketing pitches work, right? Different strokes for different folks. Some people buy crypto for one thing. Some people buy it for other things.
Yeah.
We as Hexicans in the Hex community need to, if we want mass adoption, especially in this new Ethereum fork, we need to hit every narrative. We need to hit every demographic. We need to hit every single person and use the tools that we have to onboard them into a better financial system, right? Because crypto is a better financial system than our current financial system. So if we want to get onboard new people, we need to hit every narrative. And the meme narrative is something that our community has lacked in like since day one, right? We have some funny memes, but most of those memes are, just really our own like internal community. But we need outreach. We need stuff that like works with the general audience, someone that has no idea what it is. We need virality.
Yeah, and
we can't like with PulseDogeCoin, the Doge, right? And the name is Dogecoin. People are familiar with that. We are not starting at the ground floor, coming up with an original name, trying to push like a new meme. This is an already established meme. This is already being talked about by the world's richest man that literally just bought Twitter today. Was it today or yesterday?
Yes.
This week. This week. He literally bought Twitter. The one that everyone, Elon Musk, he's a great guy, but basically people worship him. People associate Dogecoin with him because he kind of brought it to the ultra mainstream. It was mainstream, but he brought it to the ultra mainstream. look, the only 2 NASCARs that have been sponsored by crypto are Hex, which is great, awesome. I really like that. And 2, Dogecoin, right? Dogecoin did it before anyone.
Oh, you're
And
right.
we
I forgot
like
about that.
these are like the marketing and the narratives that we can associate with because we are part of those. We are adopting that brand. We are forking that brand. And the brand isn't an established company. It's just an idea. This is a free market of ideas. This is the most capitalistic free market. If you love capitalism, you love the free market. This is it. This is the idea. The better ideas propagate better than worse. So I think that we have all the tools and all the resources to fork, right? We're already forking Ethereum, right? Richard forked Bitcoin and made it better, right? Like
Yes.
we can do that same thing with a meme coin and make our own, owned by all of us, and we all benefit together. We can like this is our opportunity. So this is something we need to in my opinion get better at as a community, is just hitting every narrative, getting everyone's attention, not just people that listen to lock up and stake it for this long, cheaper transactions. Some people like scarcity and meme coins. So this is just a tool in your toolkit. That's it. Like that's what I'll end with, right? We can basically play off we can adopt the marketing that's already there. It's already a huge brand. We can associate with it. Richard does
can't
the same
sue
thing.
you. There's nobody behind it anymore. Like, it's open source almost. It's or what do they call it? Like, in the community.
Yeah, it's
Creative Commons.
There you go. Thank you. Creative Commons. Thank you.
Yeah, like no one owns the Doge meme. Like
exactly.
Like it's free to use.
I think it's a great idea. I think you hit a home run on this one. Even if regardless of what the price chart does, I would agree. Even if the price is low.
Yeah, it's not necessarily. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not. Yeah. I know a lot of people that's all they care about, but it's not just about that. It's getting more people. Right. The more people that get involved, the price will follow.
Yes.
But it's more of like a tool to onboard people that might not buy Pulse Chain or like Pulse Chain or have any interest in buying the newest scarce meme coin. Yeah. Oh, cool. I'll buy that because it has a funny dog on it. I'm familiar with that. Buy it.
And even Sheeb and other people on Ethereum, once they find out about Pulse Chain and then they stumble into PulseX and they're like, oh man, like I've got some Sheeb tokens. Oh, here's Pulse Doge on PulseX. Wow. Like, totally. It all feeds into itself. Yep.
Exactly.
Super bullish. Yeah, it's gonna be good times ahead.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Just we are all collectively, whether you're just part of the community or whether you're building something or like a prominent community member, like we're all building this ecosystem together. So like we can make this whatever we want to make it, right? This is the most like free market, open idea platform that's like of expression that's ever existed. So like let's make the most of it.
Yeah, a global censorship proof network. Yeah, holy crap.
Yeah, and like we're lucky enough to have Richard as in a sense in the lead this. So like we can do our part to assist with that in any way we can. So yeah, creating tools and onboarding is very important for that. But yeah, that's what I'll say, and I'll end with that.
Awesome. Hey, thanks so much for coming on. Thank you for creating free money for Hexicans and for rewarding the right behaviors.
Oh yeah, no problem. And thank you, Maddie and David. I'll thank you individually. Thank you, Maddie, for all that you've done for the community. Like I said, I know you've taken a lot of heat from the Hedron and all that for your opinion on that, but I I respect you a lot. And David, thank you for helping with just literally everything from Gnosis, Staker app, any questions. I really do appreciate that. It definitely makes my life easier when I can forward your video to people. So
Yeah,
thank
my
you.
pleasure. My pleasure. I do it for fun, and I do it to help the Hexicans. So, yep, my pleasure.
All right, I'm taking off, guys. I will. I'll see you on Twitter, and if you want, we can speak again sometime soon.
Sounds great. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Take it easy.
And for the second part of the program, I wanted to bring up a tweet by Richard and get people to weigh in on it. I sent an invite link to PulseLord, who does TA, and because I wanted some TA person to weigh in on my decoding of Richard. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I get it wrong. But I got do you remember the tweet I'm talking about? I've got it bookmarked here.
Not off the top of my head.
Talking about watches, the top is in. So if you remember Richard's last top call, the actual tweet, not what he says about it, but the actual tweet itself was kind of cryptic. And the reason he did that was because he said he did not want to create the top by calling it so overtly. He said this multiple times, that he did not want to call the top so overtly. So he said it in kind of a weird way, like, oh, the parabola is falling over. Oh, I can't remember exactly what the tweet said that he always refers back to, but there was a very, in my opinion, similar tweet that he put out recently. Let's see if I can find it. It might take me a second, but also PulseLord, if you're out there, come on up. You're a winner. Richard got verified today on Twitter. David, do you have any takes on that?
Yeah, I was going to say 24 hours after Elon Musk gets a hold of Twitter, and damn, Richard's got his freaking verification locked in. That was great, man. It's like, what the hell? Like, I think Twitter is literally full of like sensors. Like, that's all they have is like, they don't have a help desk or support. They just have like sensors. And now that Elon's in there, all the employees are leaving Twitter, and now nobody's censoring. So I love it. I love it. I made my Twitter account in 2008, like back in college. But there was nobody tweeting. Like it sucked back then. It was nothing. My account was dormant, and I only came back to Twitter because of Hex, like 2 years ago. That's really what brought me back, and because that's where a lot of the community is. A lot of people talk on Twitter. But you're right. Richard's top calling in Bitcoin, like in his tweets, they're very cryptic, and I don't know why he's afraid to make the top. Does he really think his tweets influence the Bitcoin price that much? I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Unless his bag is that big and he is making the top, and then I don't know.
I've speculated to that before, but
right,
then he kind of said that he didn't make the top before, and
yeah,
so I'm not sure.
Yeah, so I don't know, man.
It's unclear. But I mean, who cares? I was going to clean up my ETH dust anyway. So for me, it's not like I'm making a giant move either way. So it's like, don't listen to me. I'm not a trader. I don't even know TA. Okay, people? Like, I'm bringing this up because it's game theory related. I'm bringing it up because Richard has been cryptic in the past, and I want help from David, from PulseLord, from the community to like interpret this and find out, because I care about it from more of like a bragging perspective and like game theory and like trying to understand, one of the smartest men in the world, Richard Hart. So you can tell me what you think. And we have PulseLord here. Hey, welcome.
What's up, dude?
Hey, what's up?
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you. How you guys doing?
Yeah, great.
Good.
I enjoyed your conversation you were having.
Thank you. I enjoy your music that you've made multiple songs now for shows that I've created, and they rock. Thank you.
Thanks, man. You are most welcome.
so we've got a tweet here from Richard from like 4 days ago, and we're trying to decide whether maybe there's some evidence that he's cryptically calling a top in crypto, and he's saying that he's going to refer back to this, or maybe he's just talking about watches and that's it. He says in the tweet, for people who are listening at home, by the way, and it's like a sub tweet to his giant list of $6.2 million worth of watches, or 8 million or whatever.
Okay, so it is on that thread. Okay. Yep.
So that makes a difference maybe. And then he says, by the way, I think the watch price top is in. Since I'll link to this these tweet later when I brag later, I'm telling you very clearly, I think the watch price top is in. Period. Top. Period. The opposite of bottom. Period. Number go down from here. Period. I have to be real clear for the dum-dums when I retweet this later.
I could hear Richard reading that, you know, like when he's on stream, like I could hear it in his voice. I think he's being literal in this one. I think he means what he's saying. And I don't know where he's getting his watch prices, but I would take this at face value, and that the watch markets are in
a spreadsheet. So
yeah, I mean, look at that. Wow.
And then what did he say? Something, and then he said, let's see how the chart plays out on this one. And then he actually shows a chart of a Patek.
Oh wow, there is a chart. There must be a website that has all this data then, huh?
Yeah.
Dang. Well, I guess the watches are topping. That would just make me wonder, like, what other commodities are going to top then? If
yeah.
and,
like, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, how should we interpret this? Is this Richard calling the crypto top? Is it him calling the watch top? If there is a watch top, will that lead to a top in other things? I'm just opening this up for discussion.
Yeah, I would say that everything's been pretty hot for a long time. So if the top's in on watches, it's like you said, there could be some bumpy times ahead, you guys. We haven't seen real pain, you know, in a lot of these cryptos. You know, we haven't seen that, and we haven't seen. I haven't seen a real big capitulation candle. So there's certain things, and not just that, but a lot of the things I've looked at lately don't look good, you know, as far as just, you know, exciting things to talk about in charts. But yeah, parabolic charts, man, they usually mean something. But like you say, I was in a 60,000 mile car today. That was, the sticker price on the window was $77,000, you guys, with 60,000 miles, like 4 years old. What? How much higher are we gonna go? You know what I mean? Like there's got to be some correcting, right? I mean,
wow. Yeah.
Damn.
Think.
Yeah.
Do you have charts that you could show us? Do a little TA on the show here for old time's sake.
You want me to show some charts?
Yeah. Sure.
Jerry Oaksmith, yes, I am in Tacoma. And what's up, Jonathan Kampala? I got a shout out. If you guys want to look at charts, I will join with my desktop real quick.
Cool. Thank you. Yay. And the chat here is saying Pulse Lord is very underrated, and I agree. So I'm going to drop the link for his YouTube channel and see if I can remember to add it to the show notes later, but it'll be here in the live chat.
You know, talking about charts and talking about head drawn, there actually was a pretty good move against Hex with head drawn recently, David.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like a 20 to 25% within a couple days. And the charts, that's what I like about the charts. So everybody understands, the guy that I studied under or paid for some courses, he's good, and I believe he's done this a long time. You know, it's important for everybody to understand, like, I'm a hobby trader that has done pretty well because I had a good teacher. You know, Wales only's got his experience. There's people like Gerardo's. I don't know if he's ever traded, but he's good with math and he's good with charts. But there's a difference between the guys that are real good at math and the guys that have traded for a living for a long time. So just so people understand that. Let's see. I kind of lost my train of thought for a second.
Good thing to point out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Like
good point.
And while you're doing your thing, like I would even say like Anton Krill, one of the guys formerly from Goldman Sachs, who I forget if he had a documentary and now he's on Twitter and he has a paid course you could do. They actually like fly you out, and he's a trader's trader. You know what I mean? He's like he trades to make money, and probably doesn't matter even what the market they were doing is or the assets. But yeah, it's. And I'm an amateur too, right? I'm into crypto. I always recommend trading what you like and trading the charts you're interested in and the things you know about. But I do agree that there are pieces of the technical analysis where there are patterns, there are leading indicators, there are things you can. There's the fundamental level and there's the technical analysis level, and if you can do them both well, then you'll be a champion, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's you know, the fundamental, it has its role. You can't ignore some of the major things in the world. But that was, I think I got back onto my point, was I watched the charts, and you know, like 2-3 days ago I looked at the hedron hex chart and was like, wow, this looks like it's going to make a move. And albeit it wasn't huge, but it did make a move. So my point was just that I trust the charts, and pretty much everything else to me is the news. The reason for that is because if you zoom out enough, there's enough participants that history doesn't repeat itself, but it kind of does when you're on the right time frame with the right indicators, because they will throw a pattern. And when you look at a long enough time frame, it's very credible. And there's, you know, it's much less likely for entire populations to behave differently in the same situations in the future when you're looking at a far enough a back view, is what I guess what I'm trying to say. You know, some of the reactions that are going on in the world, I think that they've been real short, because of the money printing and everything. You know, we haven't seen real bad bear markets and things like that. But you guys, nothing real bad's happened in our part of the world yet either. Because there is something that will scare you. You know, everybody thinks they're ready, but there's something that could scare you. You know what I'm saying? If I live by a volcano, and if that thing goes off, I'm gonna be scared, you guys. You know, like I'm close enough. I'm going to be scared, and it's going to. You think I'm going to be trading or doing anything at that time? I'm going to be hoping I'm still here. So there is things in this world that can cause big scares in the market, and it happens over and over again. And there's times that people will get real excited again too. So while I'm having issues, I always, for whatever reason, my desktop does not like Maddie's what is it, Duck or StreamYard, but you know, in general, I kind of expected 2023 to be when the whole market's climbing again. Is kind of what I was thinking. What's going to happen between now and then, you know, or maybe the end of 2023, so that we're climbing in the beginning of 2024. But if you keep that kind of mindset, there's major reasons that I think that 4 years, you know, 2 to 4 years of bear markets and bull markets is because you have kids that were 14 that are all of a sudden young adults 4 years later, and they're just a whole nother generation that's learning about this. And a lot of them are learning about this faster and better than me and you. And also during the bear markets, everybody gets squeezed a little bit, and it creates decision making and innovation, you know, between everybody. And so a lot goes on that causes all of this stuff. And that's why I like the charts. And they seem to be the most consistent thing for me. Sorry for my
yeah. I mean, that's good stuff. And that helps us to kind of understand where we are. I know that, you know, in the early days of Quant Gang, you know, Kareem and Wales were looking at macro stuff and, you know, calling the top just like Richard did, you know, weeks in advance and being able to look at these trends. For me, I think, you know, it doesn't, you know, whatever is going to happen in the next, you know, month to 6 months or whatever, like that's not the time scale that I'm like worried about, because I'm time locked for so long. I've got enough money to live on, you know, to where I'm not gambling with money that I need to survive. And so for me, I'm in a pretty comfortable place to survive a much deeper bear market and maybe even, you know, profit from it. Right. But I don't play the trading game to the point where I'm going to like go back and forth and try to, you know, try to guess what the whales are going to do, because they're mean sometimes. Not Hex 19, all the other whales. You're muted.
I was seeing if my desktop would work.
How about now?
There you go.
Oh,
Still muted.
how about now? Test. No,
Nothing.
can't hear you.
All right. Anyway,
There's an
So-
echo. We can hear you, but there's an echo. Try to mute on one, but not the other. You get a free copy of Pulse Lord on Pulse Chain. That's the preview we're looking at right now.
Yeah, Pulse Lord was right. There was a pump and head run. Nothing crazy, but with all that liquidity tied up in there, man, it's like a giant sell wall.
all right. Sorry, guys. Still again?
Yeah.
You must have had the mic must have been working on my desktop. Anyway, so here's why I tried to help people with charts. You know, for those that, if you need a different view or understanding or just a different point of view, the best thing I can do as someone who's going to take any kind of profit off the table is do it at the best time for everybody, right? And just as you know what, I didn't catch dude's name who with a PulseDogeCoin guy.
Hex Info.
Hex Info, as he was saying, there's some sharks that trade this thing. You know, we don't have to pretend it's not true. There's some sharks that trade this thing, you know, and Richard baited them and told them, hey, I'm coming short Hex, guys. And they did. Some of them did. So that being the case, you know, most people's little bag doesn't affect the price a lot. But when there's low volume and price is low, then, you know, then that is going to affect the price in a negative way. So it's only helpful to maybe to know when them sharks are or whoever it is going to make a move. And if you're going to take money off the table, doing it just before them or when they're going to do it is a pretty good time, in my opinion. So it's only helpful to know, to have an idea what's going on in my mind, and not to mention the stress. Like, it just feels like crap to make a poor what would be called a poor buy. You know, there's people that are not, you know, loving the ride. I've seen a few that, you know, maybe they bought at 40 cents or something, and there's a lot of stuff out there. It's like, oh, I forgot his name again. Heck, what was the name? What info?
Hex.
Hex info?
Yeah.
He's gonna have to rebrand. So anyways, it's like Hex info was saying, we can't just say, it's not so easy just to tell everybody Hex is the best and it's just is by a long shot. It's a longer conversation than that to explain it to them. And you couple that with the fact that a lot of people like to learn lessons hard ways, at least some, before they go, okay, let me get some advice before I keep good, you know. And so there's a lot of eye candy out there, you know, and it's just how it is, you know. There's lots of stuff going on. I don't know what I again lost my train of thought, but
No, I feel you.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And I think that just the reason why I haven't had a lot of like TA on my channel is just because I think the majority of the audience who's here is time locked in Hex and doesn't own a bunch of other stuff anymore, because everybody listened to Kareem and Wales and Richard call the top, and they knew the top was coming, and they sold the top in Bitcoin, and they sold the top in Ethereum. That happened 2 weeks after that, and it was like this glorious thing. And so people just and for a while, I think like Kareem was kind of going on about Bitcoin when literally I pulled the audience and like nobody owned Bitcoin anymore because they all already listened to him. And his call was like so good. People still wanted to hear it after that. And like, it was just super interesting, more from like just a theoretical point of view and like being able to advise others. And so I guess that's the only reason I bring it up. Cause like for me, it was just like, well, I just had some ETH dust lying around, and I was like, you know, there's no point in getting rid of, you know, $100 here and there that I had sold from Hedron and this and that in these different addresses. And it's like, okay, now I don't want that to go down to $50. So I'm gonna cash out my dust here and there that is actually worth something now. But that's really why I was wondering. And then when I saw this from Richard, I was like, oh, maybe there's a big macro trend happening that he sees a parabola falling over again or something like that. Is there anything like that going on?
Yeah. So my dude is Steve from Crypto Crew University, and I watched him build this channel from, you know, he's done well. He's calculated, he's intelligent. It's not real often that I continually learn different things from someone who's 5 to 10 years younger than me, is another thing I noticed about him. But he started his channel like 4 or 5 years ago at 3,000 subs going into the bear market, and he's over 200,000. So, you know, anybody who's interested in Bitcoin and the whole market, which Bitcoin kind of leads, go to that channel and watch his video he posted today. And, you know, I think he's on the 3-day chart looking at the 200-day moving average or something. And it's in a precarious ass spot, man. I'm not gonna lie. Just if you go watch that, you'll see. And that dude is on it. And just so people understand, because he's kind of different, but in his videos, he's kind of just promoting his courses, but he also is giving a very, very far back view, not on a daily time frame so much. He looks like, you know, he's just giving you overall, and he's good. So, but at the same time, you know, I haven't done a video in weeks because it's kind of boring, and I don't think people like to be entertained. I think that if people are hard up for money and you've got a way that they believe, you know, they can use your information to make money, then that's interesting. but I don't do those things. And so, you know, I don't want to rehash too much of my information. At the same time, I like the other TA guys in Hex to say what they've got to say and be heard, especially if they're trying to make a living at it. Because I don't need to, you know. And so those are some reasons I don't do a lot of TA. But also because, you know what, we were in the buy zone a long time ago, and guess what? We're still there, you guys. You know what I mean? Like it's.
I mean,
I go.
It's probably a great time to buy Hex because it's still on a 60-70% dip, right? And if somebody has a long enough time frame, then that should work for them the same that it's worked in the past, probably. Would you guys agree with that statement?
Yeah. Like I said, I trust the charts, and you know, because of what they're showing you. You know, it's a visual mathematical representation of a large amount of people's emotions together and how they react together. And so, yeah.
I think another thing that's like going through my mind when I look at these airdrops and when I look at my dry powder and stuff, I'm thinking I want to sacrifice for the RH wallet, for the MetaMask competitor. People in the chat are saying it. And that's why I take this Pulse Dogecoin thing so seriously, and why I'm like more or less like, you know, promoting the information, because I know that every dollar that somebody is able to capture and put into a sacrifice period to put into an RH product could return $10,000 in value. That's why I made the Hex Vegas conference so affordable. Only $369 for a 4-day event with food and merch. The reason I did it is because we were in a sacrifice phase. Well, that was for PulseX, and I believed that PulseX, that every dollar I saved somebody, if they put that into PulseX, that they could possibly make thousands of dollars from it. And I feel the same way about, you know, this RH MetaMask wallet that is going to be coming. You know, the sacrifice is going to be coming at some point. We don't know when, but we know that the other function of these sacrifices are not just to like collect money to pay devs. Like that's not necessary. Part of it is giving you something to do with your Hex gains so that you don't sell the price down.
That's a good point, actually, because it takes it all off the market. So that's a great point too. Yeah.
And so, you know,
you're right.
We've seen that RH has not taken the money from the sacrifices and like spent it necessarily. It's like sitting there
anyway
in stables, right?
Yeah, but I mean, there's been some ether that's gone through Tornado Cash and stuff. Just the Hex is immobile. Everything else is fair game, and that's to be liquidated. But
there's like a couple $100 million of stables sitting there too, right?
Yeah, I think so.
At least.
This is complete speculation on my part, but I think the OA might be wanting to see what happens with maybe the copy on the other side, or I don't know. Might be an interesting pulse chain move. We'll see.
We know that the OA has bought up 45% of the supply of Hex above the 50% that it was originally allocated through the adoption amplifier and after, probably, because it seemed like the number went up when Gunter was doing the accounting before the community scared him off by talking shit on him. So like we have evidence, and Richard hints at it from time to time, that the OA could keep buying Hex, and that is incredibly bullish in my opinion. Which is another fundamental of Hex, is that
that's the magic carpet ride.
Yeah. Yes, magic carpet ride.
Yeah. I don't have any expectations of that blatant of a magic carpet ride, but you never know. Especially like on chain too. I mean, it was just like Uniswap, market buy, boom. Like, but then the price will go down. Then the sharks that, you know, Pulse was talking about, they'd suck all that cash right back out just as fast. So yeah, it's an interesting game. That's for sure. You know?
Shit.
It is. It is. And yeah, so I mean this wallet thing is going to be it's going to be another opportunity for the Hex price to pump. It's going to be another opportunity for Hexicans to be the early adopters of something that it could be very profitable. And we've seen that MetaMask Swap is super profitable just because it puts the button in a really convenient spot. And I don't even think it saves on token approvals, really. I think it's just like convenience that people are willing to pay 0.87% more for a swap. Like, I know I do it because I'm trying to hunt some more airdrops. So like,
well, they don't know any better. The people, I feel like the people who are using like MetaMask Swap, I feel like they just don't even know that Uniswap or Matcha exists. I hope in the Pulse Chain wallet, it'll have a built-in swap that's just built into PulseX. It'll just be a little PulseX window in our, I don't know what you want to call it, Pulse wallet. Right.
Would you rather have it that way, or would you rather you own some of the wallet token that benefits and does like a buy and burn from those fees that could exist?
Oh, gotcha. Okay. You want to make like a actual like fork of MetaMask, like, and their tokenomics and everything. Okay.
That's what I believe Richard will do.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. It's all speculate. Makes sense. Because if there is going to be a sacrifice, I expect there to be an airdrop, so there should be a token. Yes. So that'd be cool.
And that token will have good tokenomics.
Yeah, maybe if you sacrificed and you hold some of that token, you get your portion of the fees based on how much of that token you hold. Maybe something simple like that. Yeah, who knows?
Buy and burn, baby.
All I know is the Pulse wallet's going to be badass. Just to be able to see all your accounts on one screen and all your balances, like just the like end user features, like that's going to be awesome.
I can't wait.
It's going to be a long time though. That's going to be a while. That's out there.
I mean, listen. Future Us and I made a front end for Hex that was better than the current front end for Hex, and still is, like a year later almost. We did that in 3 weeks. It was just like the two of us, and he's the only one who writes code. So like, I understand that he's like super top notch, like, you know, God mode developer. But if Richard has 5 really good guys working on something, I think he could put it out quickly whenever he like when he wants. But I think that it's better game theory to make people wait, so that people like myself start holding back their money now and don't dump it. You know, I could leave it in Hex and swim with the whales, you know, and do that strategy. Or, you know, I could just leave it as dry powder. And I think that this is an opportunity to have a major motivation for Hexicans to not go full degen where they don't have to. When Pulse Chain comes out, if you have a new sacrifice phase hanging over you, you're not going to get scammed as much, maybe.
I agree with that. Yes. Sacrifice phases wear us down though as a community. Like we can't do them all the time. They're like,
but I don't think it's going to be a third one overlapping. I think it's going to be everything launches, the launch goes well, and then there's a sacrifice phase announced, that it's like hanging over in some way, but it's not started yet. It's just announced that it will start after everything is looking good on Pulse. And that will, again, it'll help reduce the sell pressure on Pulse, on PulseX, and on Hex.
Okay.
The question is what to call. What do you think, Lord?
Some of the stuff I haven't even thought about. Maybe because it's not come to fruition yet. But I mean, I know what I don't like. You know, I don't really like Ethereum. I don't like, anymore. I don't really like MetaMask anymore. So we get alternatives that are available. Absolutely. I'm on board. But as far as I looked at my wallet the other day and dang Pulse Doge and something else. I'm like, man, I'm stacking shit coins again. What is going on? And I'm just laughing. It's funny, but but I do like to keep just a minimum amount of coins because I've only got so much. You know, I wear a lot of different hats, and I've only got so much time. I can only pick, you know, what streams I can even watch, even though I'll watch when I'm working or driving. I mean, there's so much out there, and there's just so much to do in the day.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
I don't know, some of it I haven't looked into. Like the first Pulse Doge or whatever, I'm not involved in that at all, and I don't know nothing about it. So obviously, the things that Hex Info said was accurate. That he's picked up the ball where it had been dropped.
Totally.
Yeah.
So you know, and I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about opportunity for free tokens. I mean. And it's a good way for, like David, you were saying, the chart looks, it's absolutely exciting for those that are watching it and care. The last few days, if you're bored, go watch that chart, man.
Totally, bro. Hell yeah.
You're talking about PulseDogeCoin chart?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not saying you're gonna magically be able to trade it and know what to do, but that thing has been pumping.
The volatility is insane.
Yeah, the volatility is insane. So you know, like I said, excitement. You want excitement, and if you don't have any emotion tied to the coin, and you can get it for free, then you know, go casino on that thing if you want, and see if you can win. It's a chance to practice trading if people want to. Is all I'm saying. Like, there's not a lot of money involved unless you spend a bunch of money, which I'm not saying do that. Or do whatever. I mean, I don't know much about it other than and holding it. I'm sure will probably be as he was saying. I was thinking the other day. I was like, why would anybody keep this coin? And then he's like, because you don't need a reason. And I'm like, he's right. Dang it, man. So dang, I'm gonna have to keep my eye on that and not get rid of all of them, huh?
Yes, sell some, but not all. Right.
I'm keeping half for now. I reserve the right to change my opinion at any time and not notify this audience. So I'm not your leader here of what you do with your trades. But for me, at this point, I've sold half. I sold at $1.20 and at $2, and I even bought a little bit back, at a dip. But for me, now I'm thinking, all right, I only like to play the trading game. If I win, I like to walk away. And I think the wallet is a good excuse. If you're not a trader, if you don't want that burden on your life and that stress, then just, you could sell it for USD C and wait for the wallet sacrifice. You could hold on to it and see if it moons. You could see if it goes to $10 or $100 or $1,000. Why not?
Or combination. I totally agree. It's something to do, and it's been interesting to watch. Somebody asked, what fundamentals are most important to learn in TA? Well, the fundamentals is like everything other than TA, right? So fundamentals is like when Russia made aggressive maneuvers against their neighboring country, there were people that were genuinely panicked.
I think he means about TA. I think he means what are the key pieces of technical analysis to learn?
Well, I thought he was asking. Oh, the fundamental.
Like you gotta know what candlesticks are. Like that's the basics. That's that's like the foundation is candles and then how the chart functions. But like I think you talk about like patterns or like what's of technical analysis. What you know what I mean?
So yeah. So the fundamentals of TA. So there's emotion's a money killer. Don't buy and sell on excitement or panic or FUD or FOMO. You know what I mean? You have to come up with set rules that you're going to follow, depending on the situation and what's happening. So that when you come to that, it's not about knowing if people like to say, when's next all-time high? It's a terrible question to answer and really to ask. And the reason is because you don't want to be guessing when the highs and the lows are necessarily. You want to know when you're there. Like just like today, ultimately, anybody wants to know where do we stand today. You don't really want to know when the next all-time high. I mean, you do, but you want to know where we're at right now, right? Should you panic sell or should you panic buy, right? I mean, that's what's really important. So emotion's a money killer is one. But you need to study, and you need to spend time studying, because you're not gonna, it's not gonna be instant. You're not gonna instantly know what's happening. You will have to spend some hours staring at the charts, learning how the candles move. Like David said, learning. I don't go off of the candle shapes a whole lot, but they are helpful. I use a specific strategy, and so for me, I'm just, I follow my handful of indicators, and I will make moves depending on what those are. When those hit certain in concert, together. If they all hit certain things together, then I'm making moves. When I'm doing that, I mean, I don't even like to trade all the time, you guys, because it's like, you do a couple trades. I woke up the other day and was like, I don't even remember where I sold some of my Pulse Doge, so I probably shouldn't make another move unless I can figure that out. I can't even remember when I do things at the time if it's not that important to me. So I really don't like to trade because I feel like I'm constantly have an arm around the corner in the other room on the mouse. Like, that's how my attention is, you know what I'm saying, with everybody. My kids will be talking and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I need to not trade for fun because it just cuts into my whole day a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I don't really like to do it. Sometimes I will, and that's just, like I said, because if I sit down at the computer and the charts are screaming at me, I'm like, wow, I bet that this is going to happen. And if I just happen to be there at that moment, like you're saying the other day, you got an incredible buy on PulseDoge or whatever. I did the same thing. I sat down and was looking at it, and I was like, wow, this is a good spot. And then sure enough, it was, I had a really good buy on it too. Just a little bit, but
the dead bottom 75 cents, just a little bit. Yeah, right at the
I think I got, I don't remember. I don't remember.
75 cent right there. Boom.
So, with TA, what's the most important thing to learn with TA?
What are your favorite indicators?
I like RSI, MFI, and stochastic RSI because they're not going anywhere. You can pull them up anywhere in the world, and it's all I really will go off of, to be honest. If you go back on a daily time frame and you look at those three indicators, they move together but not the same, right? And so when they all oscillate to a specific points, I mean, just you can go back and back test over years and look, and just pick your numbers, of where you think is very likely to be a top, next time price, or indicators are to get there on any given asset. So those are my three. I mean, I'll use other things to triangulate and, to get more confidence in what's going on, but those are the three I'll use. So
the moving averages.
I would say what the most important thing for me was just taking my time, and then when and waiting to make a trade, waiting to buy anything, so that, just like double Dutch, I've said this before, you're on the sidelines waiting for that rope. You want to wait for that rope to be in the right spot, so when you get in, everything's smooth, you're looking cool in front of the other kids, and you're going to exit and look cool doing that too. Because if you mess that up, it's going to add so much more length to your journey of learning, because again, you'll just get wrecked, or you'll have to back up and trade on a longer time frame, or at least learn how to read the charts on a longer time frame, and then wait your turn. Getting impatient is not going to make it happen any faster. You know what I mean? So
yes,
wait your turn, and except for with Hex. With Hex, you want to get them T shares, and because let's just say this, you guys, since we're talking about TA and whatnot, you don't really need to learn it. You know, a lot of people don't like it. Yeah, TA horoscopes for men.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I had one the other day. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, he got me distracted. Somebody said settle down. What the heck was I talking about?
Oh, I forgot to. I forgot where the point was going.
David was riveted.
Well, I
Dude,
think
Wells Only's what's up. He's my my long-term time frame guy, for sure.
I did want to ask. I think you were going toward for something like Hex. It might even be better for just normal people who aren't into TA to just dollar cost average.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, so you know, Hex. What's been popping in my head lately, you guys, is Hex built for a bear market. You know, what do you think that means? You know what I mean? Like, what it means is I'm guaranteed my yield by being staked without trying to trade and feeling like my brain has my hand on the mouse around the corner in the other room, taking up my quality of life everywhere else. So during this bear market, instead of watching price and stressing and looking for that trade opportunity, because they're quick sometimes, you know, there might be a big dip to 20 grand soon in Bitcoin, but you probably won't catch it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Hex being built for a bear market just for me means you can go through several years of other people's pain, just enjoying life, and come out on the other end with a whole bunch more Hex than you had before, right?
Yep.
And so, you know, charts are cool, TA is cool, but you know, we're in the buy zone still, guys. We're in the buy zone. You know, that's all there is to really say about that. Is we're hanging tight. You're not going to react crazy when things get scary in the world. Make predetermined decisions. You know, like I don't know what to say. You know, like my parents, when I was young, my parents would be like, I don't even want to say it, but they used to say, make decisions, you know, like make a decision to be safe before you engage in intercourse. Because when you get into that moment, you're just going to do things. And I'm like, oh, okay. And that's probably a pretty good example. Because
good advice.
Because when you're in the emotion, the heat of the moment, in any given thing, when you get upset too, you lose. A lot of times you'll lose your ability for your most intelligent thought process. So making those decisions when you're even keeled and of sound mind and thinking you're most clear is pretty important. You know, don't just wait to see if, you know, what might roll your way. I do that sometimes, and it's okay. You know, like I don't have a lot of plans for launch, you guys. I just don't. I'm not that kind of opportunity
That's
usually.
super refreshing to hear. Go on.
I'm probably just gonna sit back. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm not really trying to. I don't know. It's kind of a show for me. You know, like it's fun to watch. So yeah, I wanna do as good as I can, but I don't know if I'm gonna overthink it, because again, with my handful of coins, we've got a bunch of really good opportunity. And so, you know, to me, I talk about greed too. Greed to me is not wanting nice things. There's plenty of nice things. We live in abundance, and there really is. Like the stuff Richard says is true. You get in an airplane and you're like, dude, there's so much land, and they make you feel like, you know, you can have a quarter of an acre for $500,000 because there's not that much. No, that's not true. There's tons of everything. So,
yeah, for sure. So it's okay to sit back and
if you want, So to greed to me is when you lose sight of being that you're in a really good, fortunate position, and you're willing to risk it for a small percentage more of a gain. So, you know, you do want to think carefully of where you place your attention and your learning. You know, don't fill your wallet up too much, because you can miss. I made this reference the other day. I don't know if you guys know. I have hardly watched him. Thomas G. Crypto Talk?
Not familiar.
No.
He's got like 20,000 subs. He's been YouTubing for quite a long time. Well, he's into lots of other stuff other than Hex. But one day, listened to him the beginning of one of his videos because I get notifications, so I clicked on it. He has a really, really dope intro song, like the best intro song I've ever heard. So sometimes I'll click this video just to hear that. But anyway, so one day he's like, yeah, I sacrificed, I won't say the number because I didn't think it was smart, but several $100,000 to Pulse and to PulseX. And I did it from different wallets, and I don't really know why. And I was like, oh my gosh, dude. So he screwed himself over on his bonuses, right?
Oh, dang.
Because he was thinking, for some reason, he was thinking it would be more beneficial to have more numbers of wallets for airdrops or something. So, you guys, he's a much bigger whale than me in those two projects, but he really screwed himself over because his attention split too many ways. No, trust me, he's not hurting. I'm sure he's just fine because he's, you know, again, there's other things out there that people do make money in, and it's interesting to them, and they do it, you know. So, but it's just an example of, you know, we're all going to win. It's just how hard and how fast, right?
And with how much time traded for your wins, right? Like how much human suffering of, you know, always having your mind on the next trade versus being able to be at peace, have your mind on your family or what's in the people who are in front of you. And that's extremely valuable to some people as well. And trading is a negative sum game, although buying and holding and creating value, you know, might be better than that when it comes to getting adoption and number go up and stuff like that. And so I totally support when people like you are, you know, who have more knowledge than I do on TA are advocating for people to not always be trading every minute of their entire life. And just because you're knowledgeable and you've won in the past doesn't mean that you have to keep doing it all the time forever. To hear you say people can sit back when Pulse launches and not have to be up to some scheme that, you know, that's refreshing. And, you know, people can decide when we find out when it's going to come out, they can decide how much time they want to allocate to learning something. And if people want to play around with the testnet now, like that seems like it could be valuable, but it could also be costly as well.
Right. And yeah, and you know, again, to be clear, I'm more of an allocation trader to where I just want to have an idea of a good buy when I get in to something, and then a decent sell when I get out. But there's lots of time in between there. You know, like I have traded before, but it was still only like 2-3 trades throughout a 12-month period. So I really don't. I mean, daily trading is just, or depending on it for a living. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm sure people can do it, but I don't recommend that at all. Not at all.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, I think the math like backs up that people who are long-term holders do better. It's impossible to predict markets. You could win 9 times in a row, and then a whale can wipe you out as well. And so
yeah,
one click. You're not gonna get liquidated on your Hex stake unless you like staked $100 and it's 500 to unstake or something. But you, yeah, the risk, the lack of risk, the lack of time, you know, it's an attractive alternative to what a lot of people are going to go through. And you know, and I'm kind of burnt out on crypto too. To me, it's kind of like, and I hate to say this, but you know, when I was in elementary, they had these Apple computers with the green screen, and we'd go in there. This is like 2nd grade or something, and 3rd grade, and we'd just do stupid stuff. And I was smart enough at the time to be like, these adults don't really understand the significance of the computer. I can tell, you know, not that I did, but their curriculum was stupid. I was like, why would we learn this if this is the very first one? This is in 10, 15 years, if this is the future, like they say, then it'll look nothing like this. Nothing. You know, the number one thing they used to tell you, like, don't turn off the main power switch. That's like the number one thing I learned. For some reason, that's the first thing to break on a desktop. That they used to harp about that. But my point just being that most of crypto is that way to me. I think that most of it probably is, you know, just eventually will be a memory. But it will evolve into something as a whole to be, you know, what we all know it can be.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more consolidation coming, and you know, the more people who degen, the more people end up learning their lesson probably eventually. And I think we will reach a point where we keep going through bigger cycles of everybody being able to create a coin and then people getting wrecked, and eventually it's not going to be all one currency, but it's not going to be an infinite number of currencies either, I don't think.
Right, and along the lines of the 2 to 4 year flow of how, you know, how this thing seems to roll, is people like me get kind of burnt out and tired of it, and you're like, you know what, I was really excited until I realized that people are just talking. They're not really, most people, they have good ideas with that come out with the crypto that sounds interesting, and but there's never anything tangible that comes of it. You know, like it's bizarre. But when you have enough of that, you have enough people run with enough, you get your money ran off with enough times, and then you do a bunch of research and have some belief in some people or enough products or projects that don't ever work out. And then after a while, you know, you're like, okay, I only need 3 or 4. I'm good. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's better from a lot of different angles to not have too much stuff to keep up with and to have the right balance. And every person is, you know, gonna need to develop their own responsible use plan for crypto and for all their forms of entertainment and their forms of, you know, even, you know, crypto can be financial freedom for people, but it doesn't always happen on the time scale that you want it to happen. We don't have control over these markets. The people who are enjoying, you know, mad gains in Hex now are the ones that sat through and, you know, survived these terrible downturns in the past. So if you haven't sat through 70% dips in Hex, then you know, you haven't gotten the full scope of the pain that other people have. So
I even got a T-shirt. It says "Keep calm and stake 5555."
Ooh, nice.
Because it's gonna be a long ride, you know. Just you gotta ride the wave. You know, we don't want to get off. We just want to ride it.
And I'll point out that I believe we're about halfway to the next Bitcoin halving. Not that anybody cares about Bitcoin, but just if we're talking macro crypto, we're like 2 years in. And so,
Yes.
I mean, typically in the past, like the market kind of, you know, falls over for a year and then starts pumping right before. So we've probably got plenty of opportunity to go down and up in the next couple of years. So.
Yeah, it's gonna keep everybody guessing, and
yeah,
that's how it works.
Totally. And you know, like Lightning Network is happening, you know, that's not all awesome, but it's not all crap either. I used it at the Bitcoin conference when I was shilling Hex to people, and you know, I used it to buy a t-shirt and it worked. Yay.
Yeah.
You know, so like that doesn't mean that Bitcoin is the better product or anything, but like they're making progress too. Everybody's making progress.
It just means all that means is Bitcoin plus a whole nother protocol is almost as good as just like the Visa network.
I mean,
that's about all you got right there.
Yeah.
Bitcoin plus Lightning equals like credit card. What would he do?
It's super laughable, but at the same time, I like to represent the other side as well, that, you know, this is what the 90% of people who have not been onboarded into crypto, this is what they care about is payments. And even if that's not valuable from a buy and hold perspective, it's valuable for onboarding the other 90%, which could lead to price appreciation in whichever crypto figures out how to do that. Now, I think that even if Bitcoin figures it out first, how to get more mass adoption, how to actually go viral, which it hasn't, because Bitcoin really sucks from so many different levels. But it's like, I think it's just going to create an opportunity for more people to be onboarded into Hex because it's a superior way to store value. And so at the end of the day, I think that it's, it all works in unison. A rising tide lifts all ships sort of thing.
I agree with that. Absolutely.
Melv Tony, yeah. The charts look actually like it's due for pumping, you guys. It's just that I would hate to put a number on how high, because, as per my definition, we're not really close to Golden Cross, which would lead us towards leaving a bear market. So I'm not sure how strong, but I like to see 0.134, right?
Totally. Better than 0.10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Depends if you're buying or selling.
True. Everybody who was trying to buy and wait for 9 cents, I don't know if they're going to see it.
Yikes.
You know what? That we had great buying opportunities. I mean, if I'll just tell you right now, if I had gotten into Hex right at 40, 30, 40, 20 cents, anywhere, even 20 cents, I would have absolutely doubled down at 11 cents. Absolutely. Because, I mean, what an opportunity to DCA your buy-in price down. I mean,
way down. Oh yeah. Like cut it in half, and then if you add more, oh yeah, you get a lot of extra coins.
And if anybody bought for some reason, bought a bunch of Hedron when it was up high, I mean, you can do the same thing now. You spend 25% of what you spent at that high price right now, and you'll lower your buy-in price down like 50%.
Yep.
And Hex and Hedron, I'm not sure what it'll do. It's like someone in the chat said earlier, Hedron will need time to be able to decipher what it's going to do. That's not unless there's auctions going on with people trying to buy HSI stakes. I don't see a lot of the function, the outside interference or whatever you want to call it, influence of other things other than just market buying and selling going on.
Correct. That's the only real thing that'll drive demand.
Nobody needs Hedron right now.
yeah. The auction house isn't open yet, so there is no demand because you can't spend it anywhere like on the auction house. So,
but I do hear you on that chart with the Wise dude. I mean, and the chart did really died down with Hedron right after Richard was like, "Hey, let's do this," and then it just calmed right down. So it'll be interesting. I personally didn't get into HSI stakes or some of the other things that are going on around the community. I haven't really done, and I'm just not interested. Like, I have enough. For me, that's the great thing. If I can hold where I'm at and I can see what's in front of me to fruition, I don't need nothing else, dude.
You'll be all right.
I'll be all right.
Make it.
Now, if I see something that's really opportunistic and I happen to have really good timing, like I sit down on my computer, I bought silver. You guys, I'll tell this story real quick because the charts, maybe make more sense for some people. I took my courses and I was almost irritated because I just wanted to be smart when I was done taking them and know what I was doing, but I didn't really. And then I had to wait for a good buy. And so I'm like throwing my fit and time's going by and prices are going down, but they're not really in a buy location. So I pulled up the silver chart one day, and this is like 2018, I guess. So if you pull up the silver chart, you'll see that there was a pretty good low, I think it was a 7 or 8 year low at like $14. And I knew it because I just took my courses. I was using the stochastic RSI, the RSI, and the MFI, and they were in a buy. So I bought $1,500 worth, and then it ran up to $30 over the next couple of years. So
Nice.
So there's, a little insight into chart reading where it's not really trading, but Richard's gonna be glad he didn't keep on buying watches pretty soon, I'm guessing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's glad to know whatever he saw. I don't know, maybe he's selling some now. Maybe he's backpedaling. He's like, whoa.
That's what this tweet looks like. I expect the next tweet under this to be like, hey, anybody want to buy something?
Does anybody want Richard Hart Rolex? I've got enough. No, I don't think he cares. He's got diamond hands, but he also, if we're talking about scrutinizing his verbiage, he many times has said that people are buying his bags. So I mean, I don't think he sold Bitcoin until this year, but I think he probably has been. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he's careful with what he says. He's careful with what he says. So, and I called that. I thought he would wait. I thought it would be more like during launch because I thought he would think it was cool to have Pulse just climbing while Bitcoin was going into its bear market. But beginning of summer or last year, I guess it was, it's all a blur now. I was speculating that he would probably start selling at 55. I think I don't even know if I gave a number, but towards the end of summer, I was like, I don't think if nothing else, I think Richard's gonna get rid of it's a Pareto chart, man. He's been holding long enough. So if he wanted to get rid of some, then you can hear his tone changed about it. He's like, no, it's a different thing now. It's a different animal. So if it's different animal than it was that gave him the reasons to buy it in the first place, I don't think he sold everything, but yeah, I don't think he's holding it all onto it all anymore. And that's what I'd sell probably if I had a bunch of different coins. That'd be one of them that'd be get on the chopping block. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Bitcoin.
It is. I don't have any. Just like you said, I don't have no more. I have Hex, I have other stuff, but it may have gotten sacrificed. It's got to go.
Yep. That's what I did. I wrapped that shit right up, sacked it all, man. Whatever, every Satoshi I had left.
Later, Gator.
Yeah, man. It's going to be way better off for that.
Yeah, it cost a whole bunch of money to send it anywhere else or to swap it or.
Yeah, tax free. Just plunk it in. Just went right in the black hole. Here you go, Richard. Yeah. But I had a good run. 12 years, 13 years. That's a long time, man. To be holding, even for Richard, a decade. Like, wow, that's diamond hands right there in any market. I don't care what it is. That's a long time.
Yeah. It really is.
Respect. Proof of strong hands right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because at 20 grand, who would have skipped selling at 20 grand, man? Having held from 50 cents or whatever, $30.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Insane. It's really cool. It's really
cool. Richard already bought all the watches.
Oh, that's why he's calling the top.
He made the top. I don't think he made the top because he likes to get deals.
He does. Which is funny. Like, what, it's funny that he would, he must be serious because why else would he draw the attention to that? He bought some watches at the top. So that's what he just did, if that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Didn't he just turn around the other day and had a whole nother 8 box of another 8 or something like that? I don't, I lost track of them all.
Yeah, me too. He's got,
he'd talk about one, and he was talking about his, and then he had the other box, and then all of a sudden he had like a third box.
Yeah, felt like some of them I've never even seen before. Yeah, it's wild.
But the watch thing is interesting. There's a guy that sells a course for watch trading, and it's a whole thing. I mean,
Wow, really?
so it'll be interesting to see what happens. I commented a few times on that guy's channel, trying to get tell him to
Oh,
with
talk to Richard.
Yeah.
Yeah, to do a collab.
self-built dude who does like Pagemon Kadimi. Plus his name is Paymon Kadimi or something like that. Great name. But he buys exotic cars and sells them, and sells a course for how to do it, to get the best insurance, and because apparently it's cheap and lucrative to buy an exotic. He's like, no, you don't got to pay no crazy insurance. The banks like giving loans on them because they hold their value, so it's not hard to get a loan, all this cool stuff. And then he does that with the watches as well. And I'm sure his course tells you which watches are best and where to get the deals and all that.
Oh, hey guys, Nick Robinson wants to know, what does this have to do with game theory? Are we just trading on the good name of that? Well, let me tell you, because I think you're dumb and you don't know. So the reason we're talking about watches, about Richard's Bitcoin, is because literally this is the best game theory since Bitcoin came out, where they figured out how to stop double spends. Is how do you stop a founder from dumping all of his coins and ruining something that's great? And the way that you stop them is by knowing that they have billions of dollars of Bitcoin that they can sell, and billions of dollars of Ethereum that they can sell, and billions of dollars of USDC or some other stable coin that they can sell. So literally, this is the most important part of the game theory for Hex, literally, that I could think of. Because if the code wasn't written any better, which I don't think it could be, all we would care about is who owns all the coins. And 97% of the coins are in somebody's hands who literally held Bitcoin from $30 up to $50,000. So the fact that nobody else could do that, and the fact that that's the person who founded Hex, is literally the most important game theory that there is. Thanks for asking.
Damn, mic drop. Well said.
Yeah, well,
Trading on the name. Game theory, yo. This is game theory gang. Don't step.
so I would say that Maddie comes on and shares his insights, thoughts, and speculation for 3 hours for free. We're just doing everything except for looking at charts for you, basically, Nick, to see if we can uncover some sort of thoughts or insight or whatever that might be helpful, and people just getting some perspective that maybe they don't have. We've each got our own niches and insights into the world, things that we see. Maddie has shared plenty of them over and it's not easy, you guys. Being a YouTuber is kind of like being a trader. Am I wrong, Maddie?
Being a YouTuber literally sucks a lot, and it's got a lot of parts that are awesome, but especially like doing it for free and like, saying things that are unpopular. Like, there's a reason why the world is filled with broadcasters that are crooked, is because why would somebody who's financially free literally put up with all the bullshit of everybody online? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to find out.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, but it definitely can be stressful. So this was what I meant. Like,
yeah,
because
it's super stressful.
Between his shows, what you guys don't realize is Maddie, just like trading with my mind's always in the other room, partially on my mouse. It's the same with YouTube. If he knows that he's got 2 shows coming each week minimum or whatever, and he thinks the whole time off and on throughout his week about things he might talk about or say, or that he notices, just to remember to relay to you guys. So, I mean, that's the stuff I go through. I haven't asked him or talked to him about this, but
totally,
just a little bit of YouTubing I've done. If I'm trying to be helpful and really add some value at all to you guys' lives, it's a job. And then again, you have to worry about what you say if you really care about people and their feelings or your own security and safety. And so there's lots of stuff that goes on. So, just keep that stuff in mind, you guys. I'm boring all the time. And so if you come to my channel, I say the wrong thing and I talk about boring things. Guaranteed. But we do it because we love you.
Yeah. Yeah, and me too. I do it because it's fun, and I try to provide value too. You said it earlier, like people are hard up on money and they're looking for a way to make bucks. It's like, that's why I was happy to do that video. If they had stake wrap and they get that Pulse Doge airdrop, shit, go dump that shit for $1,000. That's a paycheck for a lot of people out here. Even people that are watching, $1,000, that'll puts food on tables, like that feeds children. So yeah, I like putting that shit out there. So hopefully somebody will use it. Somebody will make some money.
Absolutely.
That's good.
And that guy that needs it has the time to be in the right place at the right time. Whereas I don't really, like I said, I woke up and was like, I don't even remember what the price I'm hoping for was. Like, somebody has the time and the need to sit there and wait for that opportunity to happen for them. And so I'm the same as you. I just want to help if somebody needs that, when I can,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, I think Nick Robinson thinks that I copied the name of the ALLin podcast, which is a super popular podcast that came up with its name after I did. So that could be.
Oh.
Maybe he wasn't talking about game theory name. Maybe he was talking about ALLin. That could be.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's a fun fact. The ALLin podcast was created after I came up with my name. They started their YouTube channel 2 weeks before I did, and we both do a weekly show. That's with 4 billionaires that are. It's a great show. People should check it out. It's all -in instead of just ALLin like I spell my name. But, yeah.
I was lost. I was like, what is
some people might have found this channel by just typing in ALLin and being so lazy that they don't type the dash and then accidentally ending up here. Welcome.
Yeah.
You walked into a super deep conversation among experts and you accused me of trading on somebody else's name, which is not true. So
yeah, that's not a good tactic, Nick. I don't think that would be helpful, but anyway,
kind of amusing. I'll take it. Yeah, because the other thing that's different about this channel is I'm not here for beginners. Sorry, you've walked into a graduate level class, and I'm not going to hold your hand because that would lessen the experience and the education of everybody else. And so I kind of need to just take the hate that the new people give because they're indignant that they're not caught up magically. Every time I stream, I'm not going to start off with the basics because that would lose the attention.
The old videos.
Yeah. Everybody else. Yeah. Go watch the old videos.
We're building on just like Richard. And if you want to go from zero to hero, as far as Hex and Pulse Chain and crypto, you can watch old Richard videos and old videos here on Maddie's channel and tons of content. All of us here have been making content for years now. It's been 2 years plus. So yeah, there's tons of learning to do if you really, for anybody out there who's new or doesn't know what we're talking about, oh man, there's a lot to catch up on. but you can do it. It's all documented. It's all here. You can learn up and then boom, then you're up to snuff and ready for Pulse Chain.
Go to the playlist, What is Hex, on this channel, or go to the domain name hexcontract.com and it'll take you to the same place. And in 10 minutes, you can learn 3 times in 3 different 3-minute videos what is Hex.
Yeah, Hex, you are correct. If people, you know, you can lead the horse to water, but only the ones that really want to drink it are going to drink, you know. It's strange. It's really strange. I've even got people into Hex that I can't really get them I can just see it in their eyes that they don't get it, and that they don't see the different. I'm like, you do see the numbers going up in your wallet, right? I mean, because they have other, you know, they'll have like Doge and whatever else, and I don't know, man. I don't know. It's different for everybody. So, you know, like I said, even somebody that I got them into it, and they were able to buy it, and they've got it in their wallet. They staked some. They've sacrificed some to Pulse, and still they kind of don't get it. So everybody's different. Some people will find it on their own. You know, like I'm thinking of a guy when I'm talking about that. That guy's coworker overheard me talking to the other guy about it, and he went and did it all on his own, and went in way harder than the guy I was talking to about it.
Damn, there you go.
Yeah,
That's
the next week I seen him, and he was like, he just started talking, and he knew it. He did his own research, and I was like, bro, you're the man. I didn't do this, you did this. You know what I'm saying? Because he did that probably at like 8 cents, and so he's still above water, and he's, you know, but that was him, as he did it, not me.
That's awesome. Self-made Hexican. All he heard was whispers, and then did the rest of the work. Yep.
He hasn't panic sold. He's hanging on, you know, and he don't know a lot about crypto. So it's pretty cool. Some people are ready. Cool. Some people are ready, and they've expanded their mind, and they realize you can win. There's enough for you too. You know, life's got a way of making you feel like there's just not quite enough for you to be the guy who's super successful and win. You know, or whatever. But it's not true. There's plenty.
Mm-hmm. There's plenty. You're absolutely right. Oh yeah.
So one step at a time. Visualize, right? We used to talk about that.
Yeah, people. Visualize. Take care of yourself. Your self-care goes a long way in making financial decisions and determining your quality of life, which for most people, you know, could be related to their financial health, but is also goes beyond your financial health. Is, you know, what you're doing to take care of yourself, your physical health, your emotional well-being, right? Having the right balance in life, taking omega-3, 6, 9, getting enough sleep, not overdoing it on drinking or gambling or video games or things like that. You know, did I mention exercising?
Easier said than done on a lot of those, and almost none of us are perfect at any or all of those.
Why are we talking about my food groups?
So it makes it interesting. Sure. Yeah. What do you want to say about your food groups?
I thought you were talking. I thought you were just talking about them.
Yeah.
I was joking.
Yeah.
Did you guys catch RG3's video with Lynette Zhang?
No,
not yet.
Pretty cool. I barely noticed that she was on there because he didn't put her name in the title at first. But I saw her picture, and I don't know if you know who she is.
I was already subscribed to her. Yeah, I watch her on YouTube. Yeah, Lynette Zhang is. Yeah, she's a metals broker for her day job. I think she she sells bullion and stuff. Physical, right? You order from her website and mail to your house, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like she's a partner in that. I can't remember the IM trading, or I can't remember exactly, but
something metals. Yeah.
She's very. I don't listen to her a ton, but I've listened to her for. First time I saw her was years ago, and she was absolutely calling out reset for years. All this financial hubbub and the whole pandemic and how it's. I mean, she's very in the know, very knowledgeable, and has tons of followers. So that's pretty cool to watch. And RG3 did a good job talking to her. He didn't go overboard with details and anything like that, but she's interested, and And she's just a smart lady, so brought it up, decided to bring it up, see if you guys had watched.
Oh, that's cool. I have not. It's on my list. I'm glad you brought it up because
It's not super long either, so you don't have to go like 3 hours like we're doing to people.
yeah. Yeah, 'cause I respect Lynette. Like she has a good message online. She's all about wealth preservation as well, how to protect yourself and save your money for generations and for your kids and grandkids. And that's cool and really respectable. She talks about community. She talks about growing gardens and like these are the things that are going to come with our financial system in the future. And she's been warning this for years. You're right. You hit the nail on the head. So
Yeah,
I respect her a lot.
She's just in it. You know what I mean? She's not. She doesn't have any doom and gloom necessarily. She's just like us. She's sitting around sharing her thoughts and insights and speculation on what might mean what and what we might expect and
how to prepare.
She's good. She's got a good attitude. She just is matter of fact about everything. She's good.
I agree.
For sure.
Definitely.
And she's not wrong about. I mean, like I was listening to it and I was like, ooh. She's the one to debate about gold, man, because she knows all the selling points, all of them, and she's got some good ones that you can't boo-hoo, dude. Like I was like, ooh. She's like, the customer base is ridiculous because gold is used for so many things, and she's like, it's never gone to zero in thousands of years. And she just has all these points. I was like, oh my god, she's got them. And I'm not saying it's like the best investment vehicle. She just is fun to listen to.
Totally. Because man, it's funny you brought up the silver chart earlier. While we're talking about metals, like I've got a little silver coin right here. But yes. Yeah, man, like back in 2017, back when before the 20K top, I was watching Richard and Max Kaiser and stuff, and I remember Max Kaiser's old, like buy silver, short JP Morgan, and back when it was like, I wasn't lucky enough to get $14, but I think I was buying silver ounces at $17 for a silver ounce, and you buy the tubes of them, and they sit and you'd let them chill, and it's a long-term investment. They just chill, there's just a bunch of coins in there. So, but yeah, I mean, but historically, if you look historically, the gold to silver ratio, it's at a crazy level right now, and $20 or less silver. If the markets go crazy and fiat money really gets fucked and things get rough, you might see $100 silver, $200 silver. It's, with JP Morgan and the London fix, the silver bank, they rig the prices. They use paper SLV to dump the price of physical silver and gold. So it's manipulated, managed market. So yeah, if you can buy physical, you're literally like taking away from the guys who are cheating. Like they're keeping it artificially suppressed because silver ain't supposed to be $20, man. It should be a hell of a lot higher in this whole scenario.
Yeah,
about 100.
Yeah, it is really low. I agree with you there. And yeah, I since we're just bullshitting, I like the junk silver too. You get a whole bunch of silver dimes and give them to your kids if all else fails, but absolutely that way you have something small denominations that you could use if you really wanted to try. Like again, I think of extreme situations. So I have food storage. You guys, I recommend getting food storage and if you haven't, you might not be able to after the 24 different food processing plants have been damaged recently. But I have food storage and I have junk silver for just in case, because I'll give you, it seems like a long shot, but if I had to give someone something to try and get some insulin for my daughter, you better believe I would hope I had something, and I doubt that in that situation, my seed phrase would pull much weight. So
well said. Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to give it away anyway, but you want to have something just in case. I mean, it doesn't hurt. I got, several $100s worth of silver dimes, because you can't, like gold is hard to break up. You're gonna, and although I would give whatever I had to for life-saving
Those
medication,
little 1 gram bars, like they're annoying. Like it's still hundreds of dollars. This tiny little thing. Like
I've got a little tiny 1/10 of an ounce, I think. But anyway, that's just an example of why I think it's a good idea.
Yeah,
because
I
in
I
the
like that
situation,
stuff too.
someone who would be selling insulin in that situation would not be giving it away cheaply. I mean, because obviously there's a reason they would have it. And so, I mean, it's real, it's real. And it's something I need that I can't just produce. So
yeah,
it's a good idea to have your bases covered. Those two things are absolutely in place to, keep from having to do emergency end stakes and stuff, in extreme situations. You gotta think deep, think ahead, be ready.
well said. I completely agree.
Gotta be able to feed yourself. And I'm not a big hunter, man. I might go fishing, but I just don't enjoy slaughtering animals. So
yeah, I'm a vegan, so I'd be out in the garden with the family, and then if it's real rough food shortages, I'm growing vegetables, man. Yeah, dude, we're going outside.
Skinny as hell.
People can get stuff online that's $500 or $1,000, and it's a month or 3 months worth of food that will stay for 20 years. It's good for. And
that's what I got. I got the 15 to 20 year. Even some of the grocery stores, even if you guys look, some of them even carry it, and Walmart. So if you look, it actually is sometimes you can find it at your neighborhood store. Jerry Oaksmith, he said the viewer top is in. And I'll have you know, Jerry, the viewer top was in like an hour ago.
We already hit a local low and a local high in the viewer count. We're going back up now.
Okay. Maddie's got the chart. All right. I love you guys, but my kids are like, he's coming in here telling me how long I've been streaming. He told me 3 hours. I was like, no, that's Maddie. I've been here for like an hour.
Hey. Well, tell them thank you for sharing. Thank them for sharing you with us, and for you coming on. I really appreciate it. It's been great having you here.
Hey, thanks, man. And I can do a pre-recorded, like, skim over my charts and send it to you or something if you ever want just a quick look at some charts to add to your video.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, viewers, thanks for having me. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks.
Have a good night.
Everybody follow Pulse Lord here. I'm going to drop the link again. Thanks for being on.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
David, are we about to wrap it up here?
Yeah, we've crossed over midnight East Coast, so yeah.
Nice. And we'll still we should still talk sometime about making a plan for the ALLin token for the Methuselah Foundation to take custody of that away from Coinbase.
Yes.
Be a
yes.
really big moment. I think just like the fact that Methuselah Foundation, this longevity company, they got $300 million worth of Dogecoins. Well, Elon Mars, Dogecoin, whatever. The ticker is ALLin. And man, it's been going up a little bit lately. So I think they have like $500 million worth now. And they've been holding it for a year. And it's going to be a big FU to like everybody by making them live longer, healthier lives. And because Vitalik gave them to Methuselah, and then Richard is going to create the copy. It's just like perfect. So
yep.
Everybody wins.
Yes. We have to help Aubrey get them to a wallet so he makes the snapshot.
That's right. That's right. So, yeah, so we'll connect about that. But for now, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Hit the like and subscribe button, and follow David in his Twitter and YouTube that's linked in the show notes here. And thanks again for being on, David. And
pleasure as always. Bye, Hexicans. See ya.
Bye, everybody.